What happened?
Buddy order.
Fucking blood.
All I have is.
Welcome back to the Epic League, the series number 2 of these upper bracket playoffs in Division 1. We've already wrapped up the previous one, which was Secret versus VP, and now we're getting into a Viking versus NaVi. And were I smarter, I would have already looked up what they did in the group stage, but I forgot. So let's find out who beat who in the group stage. NaVi.
NaVi beat them 2-1.
Yep, 2-1.
Okay.
I thought that was a question, but we all had the answer.
Perfect.
2-1. There we go.
So,
Go NaVi. Well
based off of last series' historical performance, maybe NaVi will do it again. Or perhaps Viking have wisened up. We will have to see, although already today has been a day of Sven successes, so I'm already leaning NaVi.
Undying still in a pool, just throwing it out there against Io, against Sven. You can, just play it as a laning partner, as position 5 with the Slardar. You should crush this lane. No puns, no Slytherin crush, puns intended. But yeah, just looking like a really solid opener from Viking if they decide to go with the guy. But okay, I'm also a big fan of this Lifestealer as a response to Sven. Sven, wants to fight much earlier than the Lifestealer, but the Lifestealer, if he gets like 2-3 items, like he's fine. He's actually fine against Sven, but you need to be very explosive when you're playing Sven, like move around the map and get stuff done, because Lifestealer just takes over, especially with the Slaughter on his team. Digav, go.
The last time that NaVi and Viking played, it was actually the Io Sven that Viking was able to top. After they picked it in the first phase, Viking had that Slardar. They didn't have the Lifestealer though, and then they instantly, on the side of NaVi, they were banning out Lifestealer, banning out PA. They were scared of that potential threat. So Viking identified that and just picked the core straight away. That's maybe why they didn't go for the Undying, as they valued having that activated Slardar core over a very, very strong laning partner.
Okay. And tell me why they opted for a Lifestealer as opposed to like a Phantom Assassin, which seems to be the more common pairing with the Slardar. It may just be Shad comfort, but...
Go on, DeCoste, take it away.
Because Sven is like 70+% win rate against Phantom Assassin, I believe, in this tournament. Why? Because he farms faster.
Sven is like 70% win rate against everyone.
Yeah, you're correct, Tsunami, but, just... It's tough. He has a built-in cleave. Not sure why is that. He has a free Battle Fury, free everything. Like, whatever you can think of, Sven has.
Oh,
he needs a break. Like, we need to have
Oh.
break applied as well as the spell.
There we go.
Okay, so what happens?
War Cry's an AoE break.
So you know how Monkey King has an additional attack range? Imagine if that happens to like Sven, where they take away like the aspect of cleave, but just add like more attack range, and it's just like some really gimmicky like extra hit on the sword.
It is
swing.
a very large sword, to be fair.
And I think that could reach quite far and just bonk a man from a distance. But yeah, the idea of Sven v PA, very much the Sven out farms, and the PA eventually at the very later portion of the game can outmaneuver, outplay, and win. The issue is it only happens 30% of the time. It's really hard to get to that point in the game.
So you got some sweet stats, Lacoste. What's the Sven versus Lifestealer matchup?
I can't make stuff up on the...
All right, fine.
On the
honestly, this should be my responsibility, really.
But, I think it's similar to Phantom Assassin, I believe. Just, how the hero works. Maybe Lifestealer should have a higher percentage win rate, I would say, because he doesn't need that many items. And I remember NaVi, I believe it was V2 who played like Lifestealer with, I think, Scotty Arma. This was the first time I've seen this build. Yeah. I think it was against the Morphling, where you just tank up and you can, reduce the healing. It was something really clever coming out from the Lifestealer. So it's very, when you have Lifestealer in the team, especially when paired up with Slardar, you can go for different items because you don't need that damage item. You have someone to amplify your damage.
I will give you, though, one stat, Tsunami. Viking have not played Lifestealer against a Sven yet.
Okay.
There we go. Helpful.
We have been, teams have been frantically searching for an answer versus this hero, because it's not ban-worthy. Sven is just not ban-worthy, but it is always first phase pick-worthy. And looks
All
like
right, this
Viking.
is it. I'm already seeing it. All they need is Pudge. They need Pudge with the Aghanim Scepter, then Lifestealer Infest, someone
Ah,
Snapfire eats
the
them.
Matryoshka doll strategy.
Yeah.
Oh, that is beautiful. But in all seriousness, for NaVi, I'm thinking probably a Tusk or something really comes to mind here. Just that kind of BKB piercing stun for Lifestealer, an equal amount of aggression early on to try and take the fight, and also the snowball save against the early kisses could come into play. But yeah, just a melee active 4. But it also depends. NaVi, do they want to run this Io in the 4 or 5 role? Like, there is that flexibility. But realistically, it most likely is the 5 pairing with the Sven.
I mean, we aren't thinking about memes, but this is actually insane what they have. Like Lifestealer Infest, the Slardar, and Snapfire just tosses, and that's how you can start a fight. It's gonna be actually really, really good. I believe this is a core
DOTA.
Snapfire. I would love to see the core Snapfire here because of the earlier Aghanim Scepter and the potential combo that they have.
Yeah, and usually Witch Doctor would kind of discourage 2 heroes jumping in right up next to each other, but with Rage on Lifestealer, that cask won't really be that big of an issue for Slardar.
The question is, though, for NaVi, this Witch Doctor pick, it forces that Io into that 4 role for Roger to play. And now you're thinking, okay, what offlaners are available? Maybe even like a Legion could come into play here. That unkillable lane, annoying to deal with against the Lifestealer.
March still in the pool, right? He is.
Yeah, Mars too, yeah.
Yeah, but
Against
Lifestealer
Lifestealer,
could just
though, it's
walk
kind of
through
like,
the arena.
Yeah. The question
Yeah,
is,
they
what
have
does General want to play, right?
They have Snapfire Ags possibly to just devour and toss him out. Lifestealer can get out, but I love Witch Doctor as a response to Slardar in the lane stage. Like, he wants to play super aggressive, and with the Maledict on, he might not afford to go for it. Also, against the Lifestealer, if you use it before, like, he can dispel it, so it still stays on even after the rage, so it's a pretty good thing.
Give us a general offlane clock. Just give us some
Yeah.
aggression. There we go. That's what
Triple
I'm thinking.
Bracer, general
Oh,
offlane clockwork,
an
let's
IO
go.
as
I mean,
well.
after yesterday,
Yeah.
I kind of became a believer in Night Stalker. I really think that hero is very underrated so far in this region.
For sure, especially in lanes where that isn't that innate damage. Especially, for example, like a Jug CM. You know, the root, the slow into spin that can kill, but
Yeah.
with just right clicks, not so much. And NaVi, they go for a pup. Is it an offlane pup? It is a mid
Good
pup.
question.
They don't have last pick in the draft, so this isn't going to be some flex pick either. They're going to have to decide what's happening with it very quickly.
Yeah, at most they get to protect the flex with 2 bans, and Viking may be left guessing a little bit with their last 2 bans, but
The DK.
not. Well, let's.
Sorry,
That's
I said
the iceberg
DK
puck,
ban
right?
indicates the puck. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the key thing to simplify this. Because of the bans, we now know from the most likely what's happening with. Unless it's a great debate, that would actually be a really powerful way to draft. Is if you pick a hero for one lane but don't have flex, and then you ban heroes for the mid lane, forcing that hero. You know, you see the idea here? Like, that would be level drafting. But realistically, I think puck is just mid. Exactly. There we go. Lacoste. Trying to be
Viking ban out
some
a
5-head
Void
ideas.
Spirit.
They're banning out Void Spirit, but Navi mostly plays this as an offlane hero. General
they're
just
looking for-
loves to play this hero on the offlane.
Mhm.
And it wouldn't be that good. Like, if it's a puck mid, if it's an offlane Void Spirit with the single core Sven, this doesn't look like a scary lineup. Like, they seem so squishy compared to what Viking had. Like, you have 3 strength heroes, you have Dark Willow, which is pretty hard to kill. Like, how are you gonna kill Dark Willow in the Shadow realm? You have puck abilities, that's pretty much it.
I am kind of worried, though, for General's hero pool. I think the heroes left available that he likes to play is Mars, which doesn't feel great against Lifestealer. Bat Rider, same kind of story, could be okay, but the Rage, you have to play around the timing. And then it's like Clock. And I think Clock honestly sounds like the best out of all the options, but then you're all inning on your Sven to be the big hitter, so yeah, a bit concerned that
He
General
played
might
some
not have a pick.
Tango as well.
That is true. But again, the same kind of principle. Is it that comfortable to pick the Pango here? Laning presence, Lifestealer happily will thrive in that lane. You're going to give him that free farm. Pango can't really pressure.
Dude, I gotta say, I was very skeptical about not picking PA with the Slardar, but seeing how much Lifestealer just cancels out offlane
Yeah.
pools, I'm pretty
Yeah, for
impressed.
sure. That's a very good read as well. And they ban out the mods on Viking. So, like we said, general heroes left, Clock, Bat Rider, Pangolier, and maybe an Axe. Is that even available?
A
They're like
Legion.
the key
I mean,
ones.
Legion Commander
as
is
well,
not
yeah, we mentioned,
not
yeah,
a bad pick here because of the spell against the Lifestealer, against the Slardar.
Oh,
but
there it is! Oh.
This is super popular in China. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I also seen
Alright.
Clinks being popular in China. Not sure when we're gonna get that. We don't have much time. If you want to pick Clinks, go for it now because new patch is about to arrive. But to go back to the Night Stalker talk, like this is the guy that just controls the backline so easily. And against the Lifestealer, Lifestealer, yeah, he's gonna right-click you, but he doesn't put that much of a pressure to the Lifestealer. High armor, good region in the lane, and when he's paired up with an IO, like there's so much sustain.
Yeah, the key thing is though, we need this Night Stalker, if you're an RV fan that is, to have the same impact that Seb had when he played it on OG. To play well in the lane, occupy that enemy jungle, and collapse the map Viking. NaVi don't have the damage across their heroes. You have an IO support, Witch Doctor, like they're chippers, but they're not like, we're going to win this fight right now. And Sven, he does need that time to come online. So this needs to be an active Night Stalker, forcing out those rotations, unlocking the jungle for Sven, and then when he's ready, that vision from Night Stalker will come into play.
What is
Sven.
that?
That's
Even
a
more
boom
minus
Shadow
armor.
Fan.
That is a spooky hero. That's all I got.
A classic mid lane matchup as well. SF v Puck.
I was trying to work
Although
out.
a hero that is very, very susceptible to rotations, though, because like I see this first night being very terrifying for Viking. It's normally a first night for a Night Stalker, he's still kind of chilling in his lane, but with an IO, I can see them moving around a lot more than usual.
You have to disagree. Like IO, not the hero that you want to move. Like they're not gonna make aggressive rotations on Shadow Fiend before Puck gets level 6, so he's gonna be pretty safe. So I think it's a really good Shadow Fiend game to start with, and it feels like it's a BKB game for Shadow Fiend here. You know,
100%. He has to.
like it's a rush BKB kind of a game, like either drums or just a Dragonlance into BKB, because you have enough damage. Like you can mix up your magical damage that you have with raises and still deal physical damage, because once again you have Slardar to amplify it with his ulti.
The question is the stun duration of Gobble Up long enough to get Requiem off? I don't know the exact numbers, but is there a play in which you can lob in the Shadow Fiend?
I don't think
BKB
it
ult?
is.
I don't think it is.
I don't think
right?
we have enough.
No.
Is it 1.5 or 2?
Like, SF is like 1.6, right?
Yeah,
Delay.
1.67, I believe.
The Gobble Up
and-
is like 1, right? Either way, there's potentially...
look.
Like, that's the key thing, right? There's explosive plays from Viking. Once they come online, if they have division advantage, which will be hard against a Night Stalker, they are going to be able to execute any hero they want. They need BKBs to survive, but I still think this Night Stalker, sorry, he can have a really good game, and
he can.
if Sven
Yeah.
hits his timing, we've seen how Sven can just dominate 1v9. And
I like, Bloodseeker as a response to Night Stalker, but I think Slaughter is the same thing. If he gets his
Vision.
ulti on the Night Stalker just for the vision and minus armor, like you really cripple the hero. He can't do what he wants to do. Just go in and be that tanky guy, tank up some damage, get out, reset. So I'm really liking Vikings lineup to be fair. Like good roche taking potential. Like I think they're gonna get out of the laning stage really, really nicely with like 2-3k gold lead. That's how I see this game develop.
Okay, well, if you have any strong reads yourselves, then you can go to egb.com or click the banner below the stream. But let's see how this second upper bracket playoff game plays out with our casters, Lyrical and Trent.
Thank you so much, Tsunami. Man, Trent, you saw some funny stuff in the background over there.
Yes.
You guys almost didn't get to see me. I was blurred out for a while, but we're here.
Yeah, I'm so
Go
disappointed you guys just missed that dance. I mean, this is gonna be a real dance of Dota, but this guy was just dancing around his room trying to get the camera to autofocus,
like,
and it was truly glorious. I'm pretty sure it was just a reenactment of him playing Beat Saber. But either way, the game has actually started. We're smoked up. Navi's running through here. But I think Shad is unlikely to walk up that ramp, so he should be okay.
Yeah, we got it. They're gonna
That's some accurate pings there from Shad. He's like right there.
Yeah, I think if you've watched any of these games, you start to see this like natural trade-off that happens, and the carry just hides away. I mean, he's already taken freaking Feast, for goodness sake. Like, he's not going over there. And Roger runs into Vision, as does General. They're going to drop down this ward already, just blocking it out right at the very edge. So Shad might realize that this is going on. He thinks it's over here, but it's actually over in this area. So they'll get the D ward on that small camp, most likely.
Yeah, he pinged that right away. He's just cutting all those trees just in case.
Easy peasy.
But yeah, so we get ourselves a Shadow Fiend and I think at least the second Night Stalker I've seen today. So lots of Night Stalker in the matches I'm getting to see. We've seen the mid, and now we're moving to the off lane for General. So General, already a guy who's been building very tanky items on pretty much whoever we see him play in the lane, and just looking to trade and fight and punish the enemy carry. And Night Stalker is a great hero at doing that when you just want to kind of lurk in the lane for a while.
Yeah, totally. I think that the other thing that stands out to me here is like sort of I don't know, it feels like sort of a classic match that we've seen before in the mid lane, but one that sort of is different than it has been when both of these heroes were in their heyday. With the Shadow Fiend going up against the Puck here, going raise first for Boom. He's going to try and have a good time against Iceberg, playing on this Puck, and already 3-1 versus 2-1. I'm curious to see how this plays out in the new iterations of both these heroes.
Yeah, the last time Puck was super popular, it was a lot of it was the laning stage.
Right.
As well as just like the ridiculous amount of damage the hero got buffed with, and now it's back to like more normal levels. So hero doesn't necessarily win quite as many matchups as hard. Should still go pretty well. Nice dodge. That's the kind of stuff that you really like to see in the matchup. That can put it in the Puck's favor, that's for sure.
Well, it's interesting too, because in some matchups you see this as like the Waning Rift's maxed out build or whatever. You're just like multiple points and then they hold off on phase shift. But against Shadow Fiend, definitely makes sense. Other lanes up top, haven't talked about a whole heck of a lot. The weird looking Dark Willow playing together with Toby, and just the oppressive laningness that we see from a Slardar. If he gets out of this early stage pretty good, V2 might be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, it can. I guess we kind of have the same story with both offlaners, right? Of like very viable in terms of pressuring the carry. Should be a better job for the Slardar, as you said, just because that's probably the best offlaner in the patch right now in regards to actually hurting you in the laning stage. But the rotations are a little bit better from the side of NaVi, I would say, in terms of like the Puck has a better opportunity to rotate down and make stuff happen compared to the Shadow Fiend. So fairly even overall when we come to that like 8, 9, 10 minute mark, I think.
And at least for now, there's some early aggression. We'll look forward to that later stage when the rotations do start to come. But there's already a good amount of pressure there from Always Want to Fly hitting level 2 and throwing out that Maledict onto Toby, who's just going to salve up afterwards and then back away. Can they get this courier? It doesn't look like it. Aramis is just going to keep the pressure on there and keep on punching away at V2, who's looked like a standout player. I think he's been one of the guys that's really had some of the highlight games for this NaVi roster. I really been liking him on the carry.
Well, yeah, I think he's made Lifestealer look like a carry that can carry a game like very hard as a solo sort of guy, which I think is one of the more impressive things you can do on this patch. Because we've seen lots of Lifestealer games, but there's plenty of times where it ends up being this like 4 heroes and a Lifestealer, and the Lifestealer just can't really lift that big burden. But V2 is someone who's very capable at doing that, and you would think that that should be even easier when he's here playing with Sven.
Uh-oh, going in mid. Iceberg getting very up close and personal, and they're even going to glyph the wave here as he's waiting for his orb to come back up.
Yeah, he wants to get in there with the Waning Rift.
And, well, they're moving. Salve wasn't broken, so he got a little bit of extra heal off of that one. And now Roger in the mid lane as well with Celery. They're going to be able to force him back. 2 points up in Scatterblast, but they can't really go for the aggression. Interesting.
Yeah, I thought he'd go for like a Waning Rift jump just to ensure he'd get the right orb hit, but just wanted to use the orb for the escape, which fair enough. I'm sure he's taking the least amount of damage. He gets back to the town time to catch some creeps. So overall, things just sort of even here in the mid. Not a whole lot of difference. Both teams requiring some rotations, and this should favor Shad. He would take on the Lifestealer, just because now there's no IO here to benefit the Night Stalker's trades, so your Feast is going to be winning out in that regard.
True. Iceberg, they're going to spot this regen rune up top, which is going to get picked up for him, which is going to be a nice little boon. And in the meantime, Celery will be able to rotate back down bottom. Lyle shows up again, and we are all reset. Still no kills already at 4.5 minutes. There's been a little bit of skirmishes here and there, but nobody's been able to strike it home.
Yeah, you would think Always Want to Fly might be the first to go down. Just a fairly vulnerable hero, especially with the aggro build. Yeah, it would be on brand. Not wrong. But like one route into a Slardar at level 4 is pretty scary. As Toby's just about there now.
Well, he does have those 3 points prepped up, and V2 making the move over. They're going to try and go onto him or secure this rune, or Maybe they can get both. Goes into the Shadow Realm and gets the rune. Still gets the right click off. That reveals, hey, there might be some vision up here, guys.
Well, luckily it's vanishing right now, so that's kind of the wrong info that you want to get. Oh, he actually always I saw the dead ward, so he
Nice.
knows that it expired.
Okay.
Convenient Dota feature, not a bug, just a feature. Who knows what it was at first?
That's right. It exists now. We're past it.
Yeah.
So first nighttime's coming around right now. A very slight lead for Viking, but general double bracer and trying to work towards this completed phase boots. He's going to catch this creep wave and try and put some pressure on. And a lot of damage onto Celery. Getting chased down. General gets hit by that open wounds to slow him down. And it looks like the Snapfire will escape.
It costs him so little to do that, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does.
Ah, Boom gets lucky on the guess. We'll get the rune this time, but the coil's out.
Yeah, and the chase in comes. Roger's there as well, bringing in that Night Stalker. They saw this rotation, and that's going to allow them to get the Roger kill. Can they get another turnaround here, though? It doesn't look like it. With Always Want to Fly moving in, and Celery making that rotation as well. They will take them both down. Big kills for NaVi.
Yeah, it does give the first blood to for Viking at the very least. So, somewhat even. Not really. But, you know, at least you didn't get 2-1 and they got the first blood. So, for now, Roger will return to the mid lane, bottle up Iceberg, and then just go right back to being a nuisance in the bottom lane together if they'd like. But it looks like stacks are on the mind of Roger right now, perhaps.
Yeah, that's the play for him.
Fly.
Definitely. Well,
Oh, yeah,
that's
they
their
got
way.
a lot of stacks happening right now with Mr. Sven, huh?
Well, and at the same time, Aramis
doubles?
is getting some too.
Oh, yes!
Yeah, dude.
4 camps! That's nice.
That's crazy. That's going to be a good injection of gold. I wonder if they're going to try and find him. Yeah, already Celery's coming up here to scout this out and see what they got working. And
What's
he's going to
interesting
try
is
and block
he's scanned and smoked, too. So,
Right.
a bit costly, but yeah, he does get the block down.
And won't quite run into Roger breaking that one. So if they go for one more stack, they will be able to interrupt it. Should mention right now also, Dyer has a decent-sized stack on that hard camp up by the secret shop as well. So they're going to have a little bit of injection of gold into Boom if they want to make that work. I kind of want to see what route Viking go with this, because like we so often think of Viking as this team that just hits this incredibly hard timing. You know, where everything starts flowing, they start to like end the game around that 25-minute mark or so. Do you think this is a lineup that can do that?
It definitely fits their play style because they're all about like the flowchart Dota of just like following them the next logical move, and they have a lot of that stuff in this draft. They have the sort of like tower pusher and group up hero in the Shadow Fiend / Roshing hero with the help of the Slardar. So they just are able to approach objectives, use big spells to try and win the fight. And then they slow down for a second to get their key items. So, like, for now, I could see them grouping up to try and take the mid-tier one. Then I'll see them slow down to try and get the Blink Dagger built up on Toby first before going for anything else too crazy. Like, advancing to, like, the tier 2 stages in the Roche and everything.
Right.
And then they get their Roche, and then they buy their BKBs, and then they go tier 2s and high ground.
Right.
And sometimes they'll wait for the Ages and the Cheese for the second, like, high ground siege, and that's like flowchart Dota, right? Just, like, super simple, making sure that you're giving yourself advantages at every moment.
Right, and that's maybe where you try and find like these moments to slow the game down with the general Night Stalker, right? Because it's sort of when that nighttime comes around, it's a lot harder to make that move. You know, fighting into a Night Stalker. But the flip side of that too is how many times we've seen Night Stalkers that can see this like danger coming at them, but just can't do anything about it because they're not strong enough.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a double-edged sword because although you're very strong at night, there's also this very glaring window to your opponent saying, like, I suck right now.
Yeah.
If your ulti's on cooldown and it's daytime, it's just like, well, you know, this guy's not that great.
All right. Well, again, very even. Only 1-2 at this 9-minute mark. Mask of Madness done. We got the first blink done as well. Finished off for Iceberg. It's going to be brought out to him now as they try and go down bottom and see if they can get this catch. It was a good cookie attempt. Only hits on the IO in general. Able to do more than enough damage. That 3 points up in overcharge is devastating.
Man, how much attack speed is this going to be on Night Stalker?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, you know a guy has really good attack speed when his level 20 talent is plus 35 damage.
Yeah, that's insane.
What a garbage-looking talent on so many other heroes this would be.
Oh, with Shock ulti coming out, trying to take down Toby. They get him. That's the relocate rotation over for it. Very nice pickup. And suddenly all 5 of NaVi grouped together to make that kill happen as the general is going to be brought down bottom again.
Yeah, he's doing the, I think the same build Seb did with the glove and everything too.
Okay.
I think Seb went for a pipe after in that game, but not necessarily going to look that good in this one, I would think.
No, it's not really what they're too worried about. I'm kind of interested to see like when that group up happens though, because as you mentioned, it's their play style. And you know, Boom right now going for this BKB first. It feels like they're trying to get geared up to fight. It's the main area that they're going towards. And another stack of ancients, another stack of camps all across the map, everywhere. Double over on those ancients is really nice.
This is the worst situation to be in right now, though, if you're a Viking, because they had the blink queued up on the Slardar, like they were ready to kind of go and make their plays, and you have this urn done on the Dark Willow, but then they realized that like they didn't feel strong enough. With like the start Shad's head, they're just saying, "Hey man, like if you get a blink right now, I don't really want to fight. I don't know if we're gonna win these fights." So now he's gone back for the hood first on Toby, which is gonna further delay things, and all the while you have a Sven with so many stacks happening, just farming it up in the jungle. And the Puck has gone for this aggressive item. So Iceberg is going to be looking for this gank attempt here. Shad, not much to infest here. That's going to look... Oh, that's the worst timing for that to happen for him.
Oh, yeah, that's the death. That is a rough one. And Rage will not save you from Maledict.
Or the tip.
No. Damn, dude. Big plays. So that is at least a tier 1 tower taken up top, but at the same time, there's pressure onto this mid tier 1 and bottom simultaneously. This is a scary time right now for Viking. B-Tune, can they get him?
Is this their punish?
Iceberg, relocate,
Yeah,
trying to move in. They're gonna turn around instead and say, "Come and fight me." Requiem comes out as the relocate came in. General still thinking about going in. Always want to fly is there. They find one. Well, the Terrorize comes out, only hits onto one of those heroes. Puck jumps in, they kill off Celery, and the relocate will pull out the IO as V-Tune. And you get hit by that Cursed Crown. Can Viking make this work? But the IO jumps in, it's not enough for the save. Infest out of Aramis, and now the chase down coming. Viking, there's been a back and forth in this fight a couple of different times, but they finally have gone a bit too far on NaVi, and Viking punish.
I'm surprised that went so well, considering Toby just chased Witch
dude.
the whole time.
Oh, Iceberg.
That was definitely deserved, first off. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
That's what we call the clapback, I believe.
Yeah, everybody did so much damage in that fight for Viking. And an overextension definitely is punished in a big way. Wait, they find Iceberg again? Oh my god, you can't die here, Iceberg. Don't give him this opportunity. Okay, no.
Yeah, but think about the battle passport, or the DPC point things he's gonna get.
True. That's right.
DOTA plus points. That's what the shards. I knew I'd think of the name.
Shards. Toby, punch, punch. Always want to fly. He's gonna die, and Iceberg looks to escape. But yeah, they've taken over this area now, and Boom suddenly doing Boom things is gonna have that BKB done.
All I hear now when I look at this Night Stalker Midas is, I've made a huge mistake. It's like, thanks for looking so good. My whole team's chilling, and then you buy Midas, and you're like, was this really the best item? I mean, they do need additional damage scaling, and the attack speed will help, and of course, this way he's going to get more gold and more XP, and try and be a force to be reckoned with. Tough call.
I mean, the interesting thing about this is that it's still less than 1,000 gold lead, right? There's been a lot of trades back and forths. So like NaVi are definitely not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, but it was looking really good for them, and now it's like a little bit awkward. Are they gonna really go in for another fight? Okay.
Well, they're pretty well grouped here.
Yeah, this is a little bit dangerous, I think. It's 3 heroes running in, and there's a lot of them, although that's a good silence onto all. Can they blow them up in time? Boom just pops the BKB. They were not expecting that one. And suddenly, Viking in a position to chase down. They're going to turn on to Always Want to Fly again. This was the first BKB usage to save their lives, but they saved their lives and got 1 kill, and now going to run to Roche. Dude.
Oh, well, you can't tip them after you don't kill the puck. Come on, guys. Save them.
That's right.
All right, well, they're back on schedule. BKB leads right into the Roche pit. This is also going to get them pretty much farmed up to the Blink Dagger gold very easily on Toby, since it's unlikely your opponents are going to want to force a fight into you while there's an Aegis, and some pressure on NaVi to maybe try and find a pick-off here, as Sven will just be trying to farm up the next big item, which, what to do? Disassemble looks like the plan for a BKB and an Orchid. That would be even more silence on Shad. I thought Shad might go Manta this game. But I guess the only problem is you don't really want to go Manta versus the Night Stalker because it's kind of pointless. Maybe it wouldn't actually be a terrible BKB game at some point for Shad.
It feels like you might need it, right? Versus the Orchid that's going to come out and then also Night Stalker. Like, it could be kind of annoying playing into that silence as the Life Stealer.
Of course, at the same time, you know, you don't really want to spend too much on all that versus a Sven when he is like no cares, right?
That's true. Yeah, it's fair enough. But time will tell. We will see. Still very, very close. Boom pressuring up top with that Aegis still in hand. He's going in for that Dragonlance, just trying to get the big stats build and just become this like giant maelstrom of death.
Doesn't work as well in Dota, you know, when we have a maelstrom.
Whatever.
But, I'll allow it.
It's a word, right?
It is, yeah.
You know what's weird is that it looks more like a Kunkka torrent, the maelstrom does, right? Isn't that kind of the idea behind it?
Oh, you mean like the water thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, like a storm. Yeah.
Not like the whatever it is.
No, not like Thor's hammer. Well, that's Mjolnir, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of issues happening with that word. we got some serious. I mean, we got Zeus and Mars, so we already got a lot of mix-ups happening in Dota.
Right. Have you seen that Mars item that has the Medusa face on the shield too?
Yeah, we're all over it.
Yeah, it's great. I like it. So next tier of items coming out now. And tier 2 tower taken pre 20 minutes, which means Outpost is claimed for Viking.
Oh, that's good.
And do not know if Navi are going to be able to make the same thing happen of their own accord. Doesn't really feel like they have that fight readiness yet.
They want Iceberg's Aghanim Scepter on the puck. That would be a pretty big boost up for them, considering that's like the whole main way Boom wants to play these engagements.
Good tether away there. They spot the smoke coming in and able to interrupt it. Wow, and look at it. They're going all the way in. That Presence Aura affects buildings for the Shadow Fiend.
They can't fight them right now.
Yeah. That's huge.
D-Tune's in a very awkward spot item-wise. There it is, though. And now we're ready to go. But you've already lost your tier 2, unfortunately. There is 2 minutes left here on this Aegis, as Boom bottles up the DD. Another moment that might not end too well for Na'Vi if they decide to take this fight. But they're cutting waves and killing couriers. This General smacks down that Snapfire one in the mid. Spotted on an OBS as he flutters through, though.
Dude, they're in a really good position right here. Like
they actually forced his ulti.
Yeah, General gonna try and run away here. Oh, the ulti comes in though. They got him.
I thought they were just gonna lead with the Mortimer kisses, but Toby just blinks right in on top anyway.
So now, I mean, they've still got a minute and a half left on this Aegis. Boom is gonna try and walk forward and
run.
Get a couple quick punches there. Oh, the cookie in. There is no savior. Oh my god. Dude,
raindrops.
I just want to fly.
A lot of value out of those.
Yeah, yes. Jeez. Well, that's a little bit interesting to me that they ended up popping that in the DD and then don't manage to really take another objective. I guess that they're just committed to this idea of like, we'll wait for the next series of items before we go high ground.
They are super safe. There are so many teams that would have went and just like punched that tier 3 right there. Been like, hey, we have a DD, guys. This sounds good. But like, let's just do a little pros and cons list here. And the cons are going to heavily outweigh the pros in a situation like that. Maybe if it's the old patches where tier 3s really did something, it might be worth going for. But tier 3s today are just pretty meh.
And another scan. Radiant recognizing the danger coming their way. They back out. Shad able to retreat away from the danger as he tries to get towards that AC. They are underneath a ward over here, Celery and Toby. It was a pretty well-placed one by NaVi, but they can't get in on them. They're at least going to be able to secure 2 bounty runes, as on the other side of the map, Aramis picks up one of them as well. But Tier 1 tower is going to be pressured by Boom, and Viking continue to make some gains around the map, while NaVi, they haven't been able to get those same objectives.
V-Tune's crushing these jungle creeps.
Okay.
I'll tell you that much. His numbers out of this world. 246. The jungle, they fear him.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous place.
He's known as Sven Diablo.
Okay.
It's a terrifying force that just shreds through.
Yeah.
Nighttime comes and he just cleaves through families of mud golems and hell bears.
Sad. They come back afterwards though, right? Just smaller.
It's a curse.
Uh-oh. Silence BKB immediately. The Terrorize comes out. The fear is there. Catches on to the Witch Doctor. And now Requiem. Afterwards, V-Tune pops the BKB and now the beatdown comes. Can he chase down Boom enough? They get vision. Cookie is out there with the stun and the chase down. Oh, but they jump in. They find the bash onto V-Tune. Gets healed back up by Roger. Turns back into this fight. Everybody relatively low. They need a couple shots from the cleave, but it's not looking like it's going to be enough. With the Night Stalker dead and the rest of Vikings streaming forward, V-Tune is able to get the stun off. They kill him off. They got Toby. Okay. Back and forth we go.
More. Yeah, he's out of stuns, though. No coil for the leash, and they even go forward, but Shad's out of there.
Wow. Well, they got buybacks. 2 of them.
They did, yeah. That was pretty expensive for Navi. Not really going to be worth it in the end, considering they still lost the tier 1. But geez, that was close to being a lot worse. That's for sure. When he made the jump past the tower on Toby there, they kind of caught the stun right as he was going for the blink. So
right,
like Landon got stunned almost instantly.
So I don't know how you're feeling about this game right now, but I feel like both of these teams are playing at a really high level. There's like these sort of very quick back and forths that are going on of teams trying to assess like how well the fight's going and then like retreating, and then suddenly a team slightly oversteps, then they're able to punish, but there aren't those like big catastrophic losses. You know what I mean? A little bit?
Yeah, I think I would say Vikings playing just like a little bit better in terms of how much pickoff potential there is on the side of Navi, and they're not able to really utilize it. Like they have Dream Coil, Night Stalker, and Relocate.
Okay.
I would expect that more people will be getting sniped off on the side of Viking.
That's fair. And I think that, some of it is also just, like you said, Viking playing that little bit better of catching wind of it with those scans hitting onto heroes as the rotations are coming in or whatever. As the Dota chat wheel missing hero shows up. Gotta love those. But yeah. Meanwhile, up top, General is going to be the one found. He does get his BKB.
It's coming.
Delivered, but I think it's going to be a little bit too late.
Yeah, speed burst won't save you there.
Okay, so they take back over the outpost. And Roche possible to respawn in 5 seconds. We'll have to wait and see what the timing is on it. Are they trying to fight more? Whoa. Good blink away by Iceberg. Oh my god, it's a really quick Roche respawn.
Oh, that's nice. That is very good for Viking.
They go and check it right now. Dark Willow finds a puck illusion. It looks like they're not going to go check it. Well, they might. If Boom walks into it right now, this would be huge. But I'm not sure. It was such a quick respawn that they might not go and check.
I tell you, if it's a DD, he'll check.
Okay.
Oh, Sleary's on it.
Yeah.
Now they have the obs, so they're going to see this movement there if it comes, and it's a regen in the bottom anyway.
Toby heads over here. And they're gonna smoke into a fight into Roche, I guess, is the call here.
Well, the courier's in there for the Dire, but yeah, they're smoking around. They just killed that ward.
Toby has the lights go inside, finds the Night Stalker right at the start, and super dead yet again. Find one more consolation kill afterwards onto Always Want to Fly, because why not?
You can see the idea behind the Witch Doctor pick when they saw the Slider Lifestealer, because you can, or this you know, you can stop this like double jumping and everything, or just even the slider coming in with multiple heroes, but it just does not work against Lifestealer in the Rage.
Yeah.
It's just depressing.
Damn, dude. That's a pretty big hit here, as Viking are playing it very, very clean. And they have this ward down by the tier 2 tower as well, so they're gonna try and make this rotation and push.
They could maybe catch Iceberg down here too, because Toby's already gotten the dire side. Oh, looks like Boom's not moving up here anyway, so won't matter.
God, they have such good vision over here. And this
Still 10-second BKB from the Night Stalker. Well, they pop the smoke under the ward. Toby's just out of there.
Bye. I'm out.
I'm surprised he didn't loop around and try and pop it, but probably just worried about getting caught by the vision.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Hey, want to go pick up the surprise inside? Yeah.
Okay, dire scan. Realize they're over there. Smoke is gonna wear off in just a little bit here. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard. Like, what's even the game plan here for Na'Vi? Oh God, not getting caught. That's one of them. Hopefully, Iceberg blinks away in a second. Oh my God, he was really low HP, and oh, Mortimer's Kiss is coming in. Get out of there. That's kind of a win.
Yeah, living.
Yeah. Gotta take him where you can get him. This is a very tough game right now. They're gonna take back over this outpost, but their high ground is about to be assaulted.
Yeah, there's just so much time left on this Aegis too.
Yeah. Cheese is there for Shad afterwards, and the slow siege coming from Boom, which actually isn't that slow. That tower is dropping. And there are a lot of heroes back now. But you can just retreat again, and with that 8-second BKB, there's nothing that's there for that like instant disable. He's always going to be able to have a reaction to it. Throws out the stun. Doesn't feel forced to pop it. And Boom, gonna wait for that next creep wave again.
Yeah, it can be a bit hard on that first stun like that, because you're not sure, you know, if you want to save the BKB for the Aegis or anything, so... They're just waiting for their moment. Oh, they have spider legs.
Toby has the life stealer inside, ready to jump if they find an opening there. Iceberg gets the jump, all ready to start, but Toby found the Witch Doctor. Always want to fly is dead. Can they burn through this Aegis in time? Boom will fall. And that's something at least to start this. So a 1-for-1 exchange so far, mainly just the Aegis.
Oh, they didn't go for it.
Yeah, a little bit too afraid.
It's so tempting because you have the BKB Sven and the X Coil, and you know that they're going to go for that cookie, but they have such good vision there that I think that would have been a pretty bad fight for Na'Vi to take, so they just have to let them get out. And except they lost their tier 3, but no wrecks, so their economy game won't be wrecked by the super creeps. And they're going to head back out and do what they do best. Hit neutrals.
The classic.
Yeah, Sven Diablo returns.
I'm coming
familiar
for you guys.
stomping grounds.
Just
thought
when you
were
thought he
safe?
was gone.
You think I was going to defend my ancient?
God,
They have,
look at how much...
they have Glyph.
Okay. I'm down to see it. Yeah, Viking, just easy as pie, makes this little move on over. And Night Stalker ready to go in with that BKB, still 10 seconds. I mean, I think that the switch over and putting the cheese on Boom is maybe why they decide to back, but General's gonna try and find this backlines there. Gets the break of the blink on Toby. They have the amp damage on him though, and stun comes out onto Boom. They're gonna try and turn and get this one, but they've caught the Night Stalker. They do blow up the Shadow Feed. He can get the cheese off. Silence is coming out now onto this Lifestealer, trying to bring him down in time. Is it gonna be enough? Oh, but look at the Mortimer's Kisses. So much damage being dealt. They take down the Sven. Toby standing tall in the midst of all of this. And man, it's already do a ton of damage there.
But Sven's their only loss by the looks of it. And they actually managed to get those kills impressively enough after they lost the two big dogs of the Lifestealer and the Shadow Fiend. So impressive stuff there. Kind of from both sides. To at least get a little bit of cleanup. Oh, General, don't be another victim here.
Danger, danger. Is he gonna
he's
try
got
and take him down? Okay. Breaking the Blink Dagger. The silence comes on out. Ooh, there's the cookie away, though. And now looking towards the Willow. Fuel Scepter comes out, but they should be able to get Aaron. Oh my god, General. Got to be very careful. Toby's there. The crush to turn it back around. They got him. Ooh. Meanwhile, the phase shift still living for the moment. The spider legs away. They did get the kill onto Aramis, but with the coil dropped, they're going to lose Mr. Toby most likely. I mean, he does a ton of damage here. This is BKB back up. Turns, tries to beat down Iceberg. He's going to run away.
I was watching for the cooldown on Death Ward. It was coming back up, and it was like, nope. We do not want to be the chain feeders after all of that. So
how is this a hero? How is this acceptable?
Well, he's
Look at
coming
this
back.
freaking monster. Look at this guy. How is this allowed? God damn, Toby. Give him a break.
Stay away from the river, man. The monster's going to get you.
Jeez.
Oh, we need a Loch Ness skin.
I like that. When he goes underwater, just like his head pops out.
Yeah, a little Nessie.
Sounds good. Maybe it changes his voiceover. Gives him a Scottish accent.
Is it just Dark Willow or is it Luna? We're not even sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Iceberg's opting for the Scythe next. Obviously, BKB first item on the Shadow Fiend, plus it's versus a Lifestealer. So, and he did indeed get the BKB, so we're just trying to catch all three of these cores with their BKBs.
I like that decision. I was thinking, like, in that push down bottom, it's sort of, you were talking about the danger of that first stun and, like, whether or not you pop the BKB. It's like, this just forces it. You're not going to be able to.
Yeah.
I think that you can, I don't know. He's going to have Satanic on Shadow Fiend. I'm not sure if they can kill in the duration of a Hex and a Storm Hammer. Be interesting to see.
I think they're sort of resigning themselves to the next Aegis again.
Yeah.
Of course, they still have cheese, so they could have another go if they'd like.
Mm-hmm. Well, any other big item pickups that we've got coming out soon?
Well, so far, things still feel fairly in Vikings' hands. I think going high ground is tough because of the possibility of just the coil into Sven and the monstrous amount of damage that he's going to have. But I think the Abyssal's an interesting choice just because there is so many BKBs that V2 doesn't want to have to rely on the Aghanims.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that
it'll be a while.
Right. Well, and also I'm not sure how much this Orchid really like increases your damage potential. I guess a good amount, but it feels a little bit weird, right? When you got this big hulking right clicker, he's just sort of hanging on to an Orchid.
Yeah, it's a little awkward when it's just like, you know, you purchase this to essentially force a BKB on the Lifestealer.
Right.
Because he probably could have gotten by without it before, so it's all right in the end, I think.
Yeah. Well, 9,000 gold lead as Toby walks up the hill. Always want to fly. Doesn't really have another answer besides just dying. And buys back immediately. Wait a minute. They're going to pop the ulti here. They get the stun. Good amount of damage. Oh, the cookie, though. That might have bought him enough time. And now V2 has to run away. Oh, my God. Look at the damage coming in onto this Sven. But the relocate pulls them away. Barely able to get out of there. While the lift up comes onto General. He's got to run out of here as well. Bought back on the Snapfire. So far, both supports dead. The Dark Willow gonna see if they can chase down and get any extra damage onto General. They've killed Roger as he came back in, but it looks like General will escape.
So death and buyback of the Snapfire, and then 2 kills on the supports of NaVi with another buyback over there as well. So another gain for Viking here as they march up the high ground and want to plant their flag of destroying Arax.
Okay. So they will get this one rather rapid. Oh. What? Okay, that's fine. Nobody noticed the early glyph. It's okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
So that is going to be tier 3 used. Silence onto 2. Has coil afterwards if they want to make this play. But this is going to be a second Rax now. Is Witch Doctor not up for 14? And they're just going to let that one go.
Felt a little too easy for Viking, but yeah, they don't want to make their game-deciding fight when they're down 2 heroes, so another minute until the Rosh was a relatively long one this time, which will end up benefiting Navi. Well, I guess maybe if it was instant, there could have been something there for them when they were actually able to get outside on the map. For now, it would appear they're not quite sure the status of Roach. They actually scan in. They caught someone for a second, but now it's empty, so... Oh, and then it stayed red the whole rest of the way. So they might think they're in Roche now because of that.
Yeah, this is a dangerous moment here. And General is up on the top side, doesn't have ulti for another 15 seconds. And it just does hit Knight right now, though. So he'll be able to get back to the rest of his team pretty quickly. Toby looking for that opening, and they find him. BKB used, but they found the IO right at the start, and BKB's come out abound. Terrorized afterwards, it's not going to be enough. The BKBs were still going. With Sven dead for 70 seconds, I think Viking might have done it.
Yep.
GG. Wow.
There it is.
Yeah.
You know, the whole turnaround started with the tip onto Iceberg. Well, the tip from Iceberg, rather.
You think that's what this is about? Is that
Yep.
coming back to that?
The only reason they won.
Okay,
They had
got
no
it.
other reason for it. No, not that it's playoffs or anything like that. Excellent game for Viking GG. The tried and true strategy of playing Dota. They just play Dota. That's what they do.
It's that
If someone
simple.
said, like, hey, man, how do I play Dota? You'd be like, wow, look what these guys did. They played Dota.
I like it. I think that it's really good when you like have a strategy that you can just execute and you're like, okay, we're gonna do this, and you have to try and deal with it.
Yeah.
And
you
not
show it to a friend, and they're like, wow, this BKB item's really good. I bet everyone buys this. And like, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, sometimes you get a Midas. Sometimes you go for something else entirely. Well, impressive showing definitely from Viking.gg, winning in the style that we've seen them play more and more often. Navi, on the other hand, they had an okay performance. We're going to have to see if they can pull it back together for game number 2, though. So we go to a quick break. We'll come back in just a little bit with the panel and then game number 2.
EGB, your esports betting world. The only place to find the widest choice of popular games and matches to win real money. Choose your bet on a single event or express of several matches with dizzy odds. Serving the market for 7 years with over 800,000 users. Join now to get your bonus for the first deposit up to $600. EGB, you know for sure who's gonna win.
Welcome back to NaVi versus Viking, where, by God, we may have done it. We may have solved the Sven problem. It was a first phase Slardar Lifestealer, and boy golly did it look good. And that final pick, Shadow Fiend, I mean, how much can Warcry really protect you against minus bajillion armor? Lacoste,
Exactly.
you were expecting big things from this Shadow Fiend, and boy did Shad deliver. Or Boom
Yeah,
deliver.
I mean, if you look at the itemization, pretty much from everyone on side of Viking, Hood coming out from Slaughter just to tank up a bit, Shadow Fiend, Power Treads into BKB. You know, there's no abilities that go through Magic Immunity and going back to, I believe it was Dragonlance. So, like, all things tied together, and they kill a position 5 hero that's dead for 20 seconds, and they rush into Roche Pit. Like, this is the type of lineup that can do it. Like, 15 minutes in. The first Roshan, you know, it's not so much about doing stuff. Yeah, you have the Aegis, so you'll try to push some towers, but it's all about getting an earlier timer on Roshan number 2, which is where you want to actually try and, you know, go and do some big stuff, possibly end the game.
Interesting enough for NaVi in this game, they ban out the Slaughter. Therefore, I think that's the key thing, like you mentioned, opening up the panel. Sven, one of the best ways to counter him, I guess, is just by removing the tankiness of the hero. When he's able to Superman around the fight, he can't really do that when he's just getting right-clicked down. I think that's why Slardar is one of the best heroes, I think, to enable the start of a counter. And I think just the way in which they were able to utilize the bomb of the lifesteal and then shot it from the top, yeah, it removed him from the game, right? So now that you see that Slardar removed, what is that new counter that they have? I think Viking, they very much are aware of this coming into play. They picked up the IO. They know the Slardar's ban. Like Sven was clearly here, so Viking right now, they must have had a strat in mind, a second strat at least, because finding one strat to do with Sven is already hard enough. Now a second strat would be interesting to see their new approach.
The problem in the previous game also with Sven was he was 0-1-0 15 minutes in. I mean, you're farming the jungle, you're gonna get the levels, but if you're not fighting that like level 15 talent, level 20 talents that you want to get as fast as you can are not gonna be there, like you're kind of missing the timing if you're not fighting with the team.
It is hard though, in fairness. When you look at their lineup,
it
was Night Stalker was a space creator, and Viking, they had all the early damage, right? So he can't really fight that well, and if he does, then it's all in pressure. Okay, so they go for the PA. We mentioned in the previous panel the idea of the 70-30, where Sven, he can win the early game. He's tankier than the PA. He's able to muscle up and out farm. And then eventually PA for sure does get past that hurdle. Once she has 3-4 items, she can then deal with the Sven. So maybe this IO as a accelerant to the PA might come into play. I think Magnus might need to be banned out for sure if you're not.
Also, in terms of learning things from the previous draft, I was not sold by that Witch Doctor into Lifestealer. That
It's
support
so
duo,
sad.
it was so sad. Like he would toss out the cask and it would be bouncing, and one of the heroes would just be ignoring it. And would, like you guys had mentioned, SF rushed to BKB first item, and so overall wasn't thrilled with the choices that Navi made for that. Now, against an IO, maybe Witch Doctor might be worth exploring. Disruptor, again, a classic CIS support versus IOs, so hopefully Navi reevaluate their 4 and 5 positions in this second game.
I wouldn't say things were wrong with Witch Doctor in the previous game, where you could see that Slardar in the laning stage, like he tends to play aggressive, he gets maledicted, he needs to run away. A couple of the times he was behind the tower saying sorry to his teammates. You get that maledict. Also, the way Navi played when there was a second Aegis, like maledict plus Sven stun, trying to bait a BKB out of Shadowfiend, which he was holding. Like in that type of scenario, you'd think like, do I pop a BKB to not get damaged by maledict, or do I just keep it and see how that's gonna go? But still decent hero, but maybe not. I think it's very situational. In this particular situation, was okay. Not saying it was like, wow, this is gonna win them the game, but because the way the game developed, he could not really play the game. All this miner's armor, he gets 1-2 shot at. And it's a tricore when you think about it. It's Shadowfiend who's scaling, you have Slardar, and you have a Lifestealer against a single core lineup.
In the draft though, so far we've got 2 offlanes being banned out in the second phase, now 3. And I think it bodes well for Viking. They're our second pick, which means they get the first pick going into the next phase. And right now, like Ben and PA, they both have the same issues in lane, right? They both have the same counters, the Tide, the Axe, the Bloodseeker. So
yeah,
these bans from NaVi are helping Viking. The bans from Viking are helping NaVi. But Viking, they get the first pick. So it'll be very interesting to see what offlanes are even left. Like, for example, with Beastmaster, it'd be pretty good for either team, for example.
That's what I was about to say. Like, looking at who's good against who in the lane, and like both of these carries kind of hate to play against the same heroes.
Exactly. Question is now for
still in the pool also.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, this is something that Viking probably needs to ban out. I don't think Navi is too much afraid, because they have some burst damage. They have a lot of physical damage coming out from Sven as well, and they have counters. I think it's much better for Viking to ban it out. Gav, are you trying to figure out if you're back or not?
You were mumbling around over there. You are here. I can see you.
Guys, we can see you.
I can't hear you though.
Can't hear you for some reason.
Oh, that's okay. Other offlaners still available. Pango still in the pool. General was playing a fair amount of Void Spirit. If he'd find that useful against a Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, I mean, Phantom Assassin and IO, like this opener is very vulnerable to like certain heroes who are maneuverable. Send help. SOS. We need production to step in, see what's wrong with Tiga. Microphone. Try to plug it, unplug it. Turn it off, turn it on. All right.
He's a
So-
big boy.
oh.
He'll figure it out.
Enchantress. He's suggesting that Vikings should pick Leshrac.
It's a hot take, but okay. He's committing to it. Enchantress is indeed picked up. Is this a misclick like it was yesterday, Lacoste? Or is this intentional?
I've seen a couple of lineups from Viking where they did
Hello?
not have any. Yeah, we can hear you, Tiga.
You're
You're
back.
back.
I had no idea what happened there. I hope you couldn't see me. Sure, I know you can.
Yeah, I know. I saw you preaching for a Lesh. We'll have to see if that comes to
yes,
fruition.
hold on. Let me rearrange my mic. I wasn't ready to be back and working. I thought I had a freebie.
That's a weird looking
Well, I mean,
microphone
we
right
can-
there.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's got a light to it. It's the first one I could buy in Ukraine. Anyways, Beastmaster for Viking. We mentioned all these offlane banned. Guess what? It's the one that's available. Good stuff from Viking. They have strong
Good
lanes.
stuff.
And they have... Go on, Lacoste, you've got an and.
And they covered the Beastmaster pick with the Enchanters, which they picked before, but they have no stuns. Beastmaster has a stun, that's pretty much it. I started to talk about how I've seen a couple of drafts from Viking where they can't do stuff. Like, they're way too defensive and they can't make any aggressive moves around the map. I'm personally not a big fan of Io and the Enchantress. I think you need to have, like, mid who goes and does stuff that has a silence or a stun. Beastmaster is fine, you know, just IO, the relocate plays with the Beastmaster, but these are not really the heroes that you want to relocate with. Like, you bring IO plus who? Plus Enchantress or Phantom Assassin. Okay, that's some extra damage, but you also need to get out as fast as possible because they are very squishy, very vulnerable. Tiny could be possibly the pick for Viking on a mid lane.
Something that needs to be active, I think.
Yeah.
The way that we best describe Vikings lineup, they're going to try and win their lane with the Beastmaster, take that early tower, and try and open up the map. This PA with the IO should be able to bridge that farming gap that you have the Sven v PA, but it's still a lot of pressure. When you look at NaVi, how easy it is for them to cut to the backlines. There's Void Spirit disrupting the lack of lockdown, and then suddenly you have to kill an egg. Who's hitting egg on Viking side? And then who's stopping this eventual Sven? We see the Sven v PA matchup. Normally, you need to have that enabling kind of team to stop the Sven, and I don't see that right now from Viking. Even though you have that Raw, it's not enough of how much overwhelming presence Na'Vi have. So I'm favoring Na'Vi so far, but maybe this last pick from Viking kind of sealed it up for them.
Heavily favoring Navi's lineup right now.
Can we get
Like,
some
Sven is
percentages
just
from
gonna
you,
go
Lacoste?
this game.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing he needs to be afraid of is Beastmaster ulti. The other three heroes, you know, don't really do anything to Sven.
Yeah, at least in terms of hitting the egg, while they don't have a dedicated person to do it, Beastmaster Aura will help out somewhat, but still someone needs to get close to that egg.
Yeah.
And as soon as you do that, you're asking for LSAs and other stuns that are on Na'Vi.
Is
They
this
have
most
attack
likely offlane Void Spirit, right? With the Phoenix 4 or Phoenix 5, Lina
Yeah.
4, and then picking up their mid lane?
General's most of the time been playing the Void Spirit, but honestly, when you have these few stuns, I wouldn't even mind Iceberg playing it either, but it seems both teams are expecting their mid laners to be the final picks as Viking ban out the Storm and Zeus, and Na'Vi ban out a Mag and Invoker.
Does Iceberg play Pugna? Looks like a really, really good Pugna game against these heroes who, like, don't have any abilities to throw at Pugna, and the Cripify against Phantom Assassin could work really well, but they might also get something that scales a bit more. I mean, you can go for it, because if Void Spirit is the offlaner, he's having a good time. He can go for, like, scaling items where you have, like, Yule Scepter, Aghanims, so you have all things covered. Okay,
Ember.
fine with that. No stuns. Just get a hero that can maneuver, go in and out. So they have 2 spirits, no control from Viking. Looks really, really rough.
So scary. I think the best way for Viking to deal with this right now is to try and set the pace of the game himself. I mentioned Leshrac whilst my Discord was broke. That could just be the saving grace once again. It feels terrible. Leshrac's a quite squishy hero, but overwhelming these objectives, a quick BKB, then the PA, you know, physical magic damage, it might be enough, but so hard right now. Even like you could also go for more a tankier side and go for like a casual Kunkka, try and live through what Na'Vi have, and then outmaneuver, outpace at the later portion of the game. But again, I think wait for it. Go for the Shadow Fiend again.
Oh, not a big fan here. No stuns, so Shadowfiend will have issues just landing those raises. There's no real setup for the ulti, like Beastmaster Roar, but I don't think you just feels like a really weak lineup from Viking to me. And yeah, this is gonna go to game 3, trust me.
On the other side, though, you have to look at what they do have. If they are able to win their lanes, you know, they have the annoyance of a Beastmaster, the edge to secure the PA. We've seen how Shadowfiend with Miracle and with Boom, he's always top net worth. If they have that timing of just grouping up and pressuring, they can always go Roshan. They can always have that Aegis advantage. And maybe they can bait out a key egg. But realistically, they have to play at like the top level to win this game, because you can't knock down the Ember, you can't knock down the Void, you can't kill Egg. It's rough, but they have a slim window, I think.
It's gonna be really tough for them to win this game. It needs to be perfect execution, like their rotations around the map. The first tower with the Beastmaster needs to fall really early on to force Sven in jungle and try to get some, relocate plays. You're gonna have a Hawk there, but it's gonna be really tough, I would say. Like Shadowfiend is the hero that is very burstable. Like you might just go in with Void Spirit, Ember Spirit, try to bait out the BKB, which he definitely once again needs fast this game, and I don't see them taking a fight. There's some sustain, Enchantress, Io, a lot of heals, but Navi's lineup looking way scarier.
If this was my pub, I'd always want to see this Na'Vi lineup on my
lineup.
side, Yeah,
Always.
like I queue up for a ranked game, I quickly pick my hero, go AFK, come back, I'm like, oh, my boys did good, Like,
Well, okay, so are you more scared of the Na'Vi lineup, or are you scared of your team having 0 stuns against the Na'Vi lineup?
I'm
what's
just
more concerning
happy
to you?
to see, like, I just look at Na'Vi's lineup and I'm like, damn, that just looks clean. I look at Vikings lineup, I'm like, wow,
okay.
I need to communicate to win this game, and it's like, in a ranked game, not too good, but again,
I'll even play position 5 for Na'Vi in my pub game if that's the lineup that we're gonna have, just to win the game. Don't care what I'm playing, I just want to be on that side.
Exactly.
All right, well, clearly by the order of the Peaky Blinders, we're going to have a game 3, but if you don't agree, or if you do agree, you can always go to egb.com or click the banner below the stream if you want to check out the odds. But let's find out how this game number 2 is going to work out with our casters, Lyrical and Trent.
Oh, thank you, you wonderful, wonderful folks over there. It is game number 2. Na'Vi apparently have picked up the ship and righted it. And Trent, we're now moving into this one. How you feeling about it? You as happy about the draft as the panel was?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It does look pretty fun. Lots of mobility. Pretty annoying to chase down some of these heroes. Feels like if you make a jump as PA, you're gonna get the kill, or how you're gonna get the next jump, because these guys are gonna be dancing all over the place, and then having one stun is a little bit scary. I wouldn't say it's as one-sided as they pointed out, though. Right? We need a little bit of time, especially with the first couple ganks don't go well for the Spirits. Maybe they can get the ball rolling on the earlier end here for Viking, because they have the Ench, the Beastmaster, and even Shadowfiend. Sometimes you just show up to a lane, get a triple raise, and things look good. I'm expecting a fast build out of Shad. I hope it's not... I don't think this is like Battle Fury Dota.
No.
Maybe it has to be, but either way, you're going to need a lot of farm on this Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, it's going to be a different type of play, and maybe you get that farm by just like accelerating super fast, and you stay ahead the entire game, and then you just get an Aegis and everything's fine, as we're going to see a D ward down bottom. But it's one of those interesting conundrums, right? Like, do you want to try and play fast and then there's no catch-up mechanic in case things go bad, or do you just want to try and sort of go for the slower but steady turtle route? And by turtle, I mean turtle in comparison to the hare. You got what I meant. Sure.
We'll go with that.
Okay.
I do think Iceberg looks like he's a really fun game. I feel like most Ember Spirit players would be quite happy in a game like this. What concerns you? Like, sure, there's high physical burst, I guess, is one problem from a Phantom Assassin when you're more of like, susceptible to that sort of damage, but the control elements are just so lacking.
And he just dodged a raise too with Sleight of Fist, so dude is killing it. That's what you like to see. They missed the other one as well. All right, he got hit. It's over. GG.
Well, I guess there is Dispel, though. That is kind of annoying, as Soleri is making that happen on the General right now as he pops the Resonant Impulse.
Kind of an annoying play, definitely, to have to play around against. But also, like, if that's the only thing that's really working, if you wanted to, Ember could just go for like that, 2-4-0 build or whatever it is, and just play around Flame Guard later. Depending on how it all works
Such
out.
a good Spirit Vessel game too for General. I mean, we all see these urns. Maybe he won't go for the Spirit Vessel right away, but just even having this urn when the forced aggression is going to be there from Viking. I love this urn build on offlaners. I think it's the way to go. We've seen General do it quite a bit. We've seen Zai been up to it as well. Just seems very strong with what it gives you early.
Yeah, and
just
there's
waving at him. Hello.
Oh,
well, I'm watching this potential there. We get the first blood from Always Want to Fly.
yeah, this is a dangerous lane. Stormhammer into Light Strike Array, and Always Want to Fly taking a point in that Fiery Soul so he can just get the extra damage out. And now with another round of mangoes, they're ready to go again. If Toby steps too far forward, he's gonna get punished pretty freaking hard here. Aramis
Yeah,
does
has the
have a little
headdress
burst
too, but not enough. I guess just outranging the boars, right? Another great part of having the Fiery Soul. Having you just pelt them down so they have 0 armor.
And they will be able to at least push back a little bit here and there. And he's getting some, he's really not getting great farm. I guess 5 and 1, and then you add in Aramis's couple of last hits in there, and it starts looking a little bit more even. But definitely up top, at least for now, the Void Spirit is the winner out of the 2 offlaners. General having a good time.
Yeah, I haven't even really talked about Roger's game. Phoenix doesn't really like Beastmaster that much, but overall, the coverage around the egg is pretty good. You have Stormhammer, you have like bolas coming out from the Ember Spirit as well. So if they're not, they can't just focus you if they haven't already controlled up those other heroes to try and stop you from killing the egg, even if you do have some decent range and attack speed from the Beastmaster.
Oh,
the
got
Centaur!
interrupted! Dude, the Centaur's
Oh, you've
on
got to
the
be
team.
kidding me.
That was crazy.
I'm not sure if you guys were there in time. I think the camera might have been a little bit late, but he tried to tether from the left side of that camp with the pull happening. And when he tethered through, the Centaur stopped the IO, and thus disconnected the Beastmaster, and that's what killed him.
That was a great picture you drew, too. That was really
Thank
well
you.
done.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is one of the harder heroes to draw in Dota. Here, let me do it again.
Nice.
Oh,
Well
nice.
done. Look, he's
Nailed
standing
it.
right over it.
He's very
amazing.
impressed. Can you imagine if they could see the drawings? Oh my god, I'd be fired so fast. Every time they
would.
miss a last hit, I'd just be like sad.
Just put a question mark.
Now that's a feature I would pay for if my opponents could see that kind of stuff. Now we'd really be onto something here.
That'd be really good. Roger getting down low as Shad is nearby. Has a jump if he wants to use it, but
Oh, but the fool! Ugh, get him.
God,
Nice.
it's so annoying.
They still have the regen thing, don't they?
Yeah. It depends
Yeah,
on
is it
which
them?
one, right? I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, Veno lost it. I think the fool's kept it. Shad, though, dropping low. Out of spells, though.
Ooh, very, very low
close.
HP. Okay. And Iceberg is going to give Celery the tip as he drops down that ward. I have a feeling that that one's going to be taken away in a little bit here. Actually, they might have placed it in a good position. Not sure. So
Might have been that the rune stuff, too, just like coming to annoy him.
they
give him
take
a little,
over
like,
the camp, but he's dead.
Wow, that was quite the tip. He called that
Damn.
out way in advance.
Yeah, man. He's a baller. And they're going to kill him as well. Shad goes down too. Wow, this top lane has gone really rough for Vikings so far. Navi off to a hot start.
Well, you heard Mr. Peaky Blinders there. He made a promise.
I don't
Much
trust
like
him.
Lizard and his promise of playing 10 Techies games. I think Navi are going to fulfill Lacoste's promise as well.
We'll have to see. Have to see indeed. Throws out the stun onto the boar. Again, they've got so much damage potential here if they just want to throw out that one stun into the LSA. But both lanes right now, top and bottom, being won by Navi. Boom, having a pretty good time mid, but he's not really the hero that can immediately go and make impact on the rest of the game, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Aramis is very scared.
Yeah. Definitely. And he's going to get stunned.
They could have had him.
Yeah. Up top with this this Satyr picked up, they've been able to push back General a good amount, even though he used that Urn Charge to heal back up. It's not the easiest time in the world once Celery actually gets a pretty good creep.
Aramis just stick healed the boar. After Always Wanna Fly tried to take it down, he tethered and stick healed it. It's
Wow.
genius. Unfortunately, the boar is now just sitting back doing nothing, so
It's
not
not
getting a
really
whole lot
good.
no.
Boom.
Yeah, no stacks or anything. Turns out his players are a bit busy trying to recover this top lane, which is not really happening. Lowest of the cores for Shad still.
Yeah, that one
Just
hurts.
barely behind his own Beastmaster, who's then behind the Shadow Fiend. So we got 3 Radiant cores on top. Mind you, at least the top 4 are very close.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, there we go. And they jump back up.
Yeah, he'll be there. And
Yeah,
like,
don't let
honestly,
the last hits fool you, though, guys. That's neutrals.
the fact that Toby's still getting a decent time down here in terms of experience, like he can maybe be somebody that can set the tempo a little bit, maybe makes a rotation with the roar, and you know, there is some kill potential. It feels like.
But how scary is Roar with Io and Edge?
Yeah,
There's no
That's the
like,
problem.
you know, Death Ward or Finger of Death or something. You're gonna need a creep follow up from Soleri, and then you're just getting into situations where the more cogs in the machine, the more things that can go wrong.
true. Well, speaking of which, they pull him back in, but getting 1 kill. So he tries to get the deny there to Roche, won't happen, but General will fall instead. And just like that, Boom makes a rotation and gets a kill. So
They're the greatest Dota team of all time.
Oh,
Unstoppable. Okay, all right,
yeah.
we're back.
Can I tell you something about this? This is a really high level tip right here, right? Because it's not that they're tipping the player that made the mistake. They're tipping his team and saying, oh man, he should have been there. He should have been there. And then the other team's like, yeah, it's not my fault. Iceberg should have been there, right? They're trying to sow division.
They make a great point.
Yeah.
What were you doing, Iceberg?
Why weren't you there?
He's like, I was getting faded brooch, and this thing's busted. Now watch this drive, and he's just gonna kill 3 heroes mid.
That's a great reference.
Thank you.
Well, they're going to try and stop this pressure in towards mid, and they will be able to with Roger and Iceberg, but Aramis? Nah, he's going to take that invisor, and you can barely tell. But Tether's back up to Boom, and then they're back to the farming races.
They almost look like they're ready to smoke here. In fact, they are. Always Wanna Fly's buying up a smoke. Might want to try and find level 6. You're so close for a position 5.
Oh, very, very low, and is going to die. The rotation comes a little bit too late. Can they kill off V-Tune?
Oh, there we
1
go.
raise, 2 raise. So they get him at the very least.
All right,
Now-
Boom is carrying.
Dude, this guy is making it work. Got 2 kills over by the Roche, makes the rotation bottom as the Beastmaster dies and gets the carry. What a guy.
Always Wanna Fly wants to cancel. Oh, I thought he was gonna try and cancel that TP. I think he wanted to.
Too afraid. He knew he'd die for it. Oh no. Yeah, Boom realizes that they could have gone on him right there if they changed and maybe like remnant it in. So threatens the Requiem and then backs out.
Yeah, he letting him know. Dire Obs does see Always Wanna Fly moving out of the positioning under the tower, which might lead them to believe that this is free, and so they will just chase Always Wanna Fly for the second free part of this. On that, the smoke was there. Off Sentry, everything. Mid lane, Aramis being chased down, but manages the tether to the tier 2.
Well played. In the meantime, Boom is taking out stacks in the jungle away from NaVi. They take the tower. NaVi, this lead that they're holding, not looking completely infallible. And you know, V-Tune's got himself a little bit of free time up here on the top lane, but they've caught themselves Aramis, General, trying to bring him down. Double Astral Step secures the kill as Iceberg rotates in now, and they find Boom, dodges away from the LSA, throws out the ulti, and now ready to turn, gets the stun there onto 1 with the roar out. And Laguna Blade will not stop
What are you
him.
doing?
Dude, he's pissed. His courier got killed over and over again. He dies instead of his mid. It's no way to play.
Oh, that's certainly not helping anyone, and I don't know if this glyph's really gonna stop them. With an illusion rune, Ench going for the heals, trying to keep that Wildwing Ripper alive, keep the aura going.
And he denies, and he denies. Oh, not gonna happen. Iceberg not able to get it. And Boom, again going towards that VKB and let him know about it.
Oh, this is my new favorite rivalry.
This is great.
We need some more of these.
It actually is a pretty good rivalry too, because I think the teams are fairly evenly matched. You know, Viking definitely got the better of them last game, but this isn't like blowout Dota, it feels like. General walks up towards high ground, gonna get one of those boars. while they're going to just TP out on the Enchantress. So
And Shad showing the Deso. I love this. I really hope this is what he opts for. I mean, I guess he's kind of committed now with Mithril Hammer anyway, but I think the play is definitely not to go for the Battle Fury and try and play Dota that way. And you can already tell that they know that's the way to do this with the rotation this early down to the bottom lane. So with the early Deso and stacking with the minus armor aura that will be coming out from Booms shortly, so it's going to be pretty nice. You look at this Ember, talking about how they don't have a lot of stun. Well, it will quite literally be one touch at that point to blow up Iceberg.
It's true. Maybe we'll see some of the fabled Shadow Fiend Abyssal Blade build. It's a classic.
That smoke finally arrives after 2 deaths of the Courier. Always on the Fly also has the Laguna Blade back, but they might be a bit too late.
Oh, danger. Danger, danger. General, can they get this kill before the rest of them get there? No. Nice. So General will live as they bring it down the Enchantress. Although there's still that little creep chasing them. And you know, the rotation comes in, actually. They kill if Always Want to Fly. General tries to get out of there and does just manage to escape as Iceberg going to be rooted in place. Requiem comes out from the side, and that gets him the fear. Do they have enough to bring him down? That raise just barely off the mark. And with that, Ember makes the retreat. Boom's still chasing him, but yeah, realize this is not going to work. Although,
they have a ward there, bud.
Oh my God, Iceberg, how could you do this? Holy moly. That guy's crazy.
The worst part is he's still under a ward right now while they're doing this, too.
Yeah.
But there's nothing else to capitalize on this.
General's back alive now, or back towards the bottom lane now, rather.
And a mech finished up now for Aramis. First item complete.
He's gotten a lot of space. And Shadow Fiend started roaming around and making things happen. Granted, you look at the 2 supports on NaVi, and they're also pretty far up there.
Yeah, they're doing great. Should be an earlier Yules for Always Want to Fly for a 5, and especially considering the deaths that he's had so far this game. But they're looking for the dual timing right now on the side of Viking, with the Deso being complete on Shad and the BKB being complete on Boom. Should be done around the same time. They're both about 300 gold away.
Okay.
So when that happens, they're going to smoke up. They could just leave one person farming with the IO, do the relocate in, or they could just like smoke his 5 and use the relocate to save someone from the Sven stun.
Yeah, and they'll have like also this sort of added bonus of Toby, who's going to have the Vlad's done at that point, and 4 points of Inner Beast as well. Seems like the likely way it's going to go. As mid lane, General, I mean, this is the part that I think is really frustrating for Viking, is the NaVi just are so free in the way that they move. Like, it's really hard to get the lockdown on any of them, as we've talked about time and again.
Yeah, I mean, look at General like that, right?
Yeah.
You can just walk him to a hill and 2 heroes and just be gone.
Bottom. Shad in some trouble here. Gonna turn, try and get something done onto Roger, but the root is there. The stun, and afterwards Aramis trying to keep him alive. The mech reveal, and then the jump forward. Can they get out? You need a couple more seconds for this one to work, and
just
the
keep
chase
moving.
down is there. 3 seconds, 2, 1. Aramis gets him away. That was everything popped. Oh yeah, give him the tip. There you go.
That's never going to get old.
That's amazing.
We got 15 of those to be used this game, guys. I expect everyone to be on Iceberg.
That's so good. Because it's not even his fault. They're just like,
it wasn't even that
him.
impressive. It's like,
No.
I mean, yeah, it was a good play, but it's like, well, what was I supposed to do? Congrats, you relocated. But I love it.
Yeah, it's true. It makes it all good. I mean, and that's also while NaVi is like,
oh, Roger,
continuing to build their lead, right?
All right. Thought he was gonna walk up there. That could have been bad.
Oh, this is big. But there is a ward that's scouting all this out, so they know what's happening. It's going rather rapidly, though. Roger nearby has egg available. Has to be careful about his positioning. Ember throws out the slight to start. General ready to jump in. Roche down to about a 3rd HP. That's revealed right now as they head on through.
There's no God strength.
Gotta be careful. Again, Boom is in there with Aramis. This is so dangerous.
Yeah, the chip damage is too much with max slight.
Boom's still
There's
hanging out,
no way
though.
you can just like take it.
You also can't leave it though. And Vtune throws out the stun there to open. Still BKB being held by Boom. That might be enough to make them feel like they can do it.
NaVi are waiting for God strength.
It's getting really close. 10 seconds away. The hoof stomp's available afterwards too. Oh, this centaur creep could make the difference. 40 seconds left before it reveals.
The biggest footsies of all time.
This
Got
is like
two
the
on
game.
each side. Everyone's just waiting.
Egg down right on top of them. Boom, turn upon. Can they get it? Wait, the Requiem came out. Aramis of all people gets the Aegis. The egg is gonna fall. No, the stuff came out in time. Oh, Navi made it work. Everybody's falling. Always want to fly, trying to run out of there, but Shad will fall. And with that, Navi take them all.
Oh, they trapped themselves in this situation on the side of Viking. It looked kind of good because you're doing it while the God Strength is down, but then you couldn't finish it in time, and they have the pokey damage, and I think Always Want to Fly, I'm pretty sure, got the Roche kill with that Dragon Slave.
Dude.
Which caused the Snatch to be there from Aramis as well, so they really got it all there on the side of Navi, short of walking away with the Aegis. Just fantastic fight for them.
Ember did more damage in that fight than the entire Viking team, and
I believe it.
I can't believe how close that egg was to dying. Like, oh, if that egg went down, can you imagine? That whole fight might end up looking different. Deso done for Iceberg now too, so this physical damage build, this could be really devastating. 7,000 gold lead now for Navi.
Yeah, not really what you expect from an Ember in a lot of matches these days, but someone has to go for it in this game.
True.
Wants to join as Sven, you know, wants to help him out. It's pretty good having AoE minus armor when you have a hero that relies so heavily on this cleave.
Well, they throw out the Remnant just to get some extra vision onto there. I mean, Navi is pushing this. You can tell this is like a different way than Viking had played it previously. They're sort of trying to push their advantage and bully a little bit more, I think, than we saw last game from Viking, where they're playing a little bit more conservatively.
I think they might have just tried a little bit too hard on that Roche.
Yeah.
Like, if they had just gotten those good items, went for the smoke play, it might have been a little bit better for them. But that's one of the main problems they have, is that the smokes are kind of hard when all they have is the Beastmaster. It basically requires them to catch Navi in that bottom half of the map, because that's where the Beastmaster wants to play. That's where the Beastmaster's going to have the better vision. And that's also why you see, like, 7 sentries down here, because Navi understand that that's where Beastmaster's been living. That's where they've been free to roam, so they want to clear this all out. It's beautiful deep warding by them. When we talk about Always Want to Fly, maybe getting the earlier Yule Scepter, but I'm sure this is mostly his gold that's gone into these obs, or these sentries.
True. Yeah, and making sure that they always are on that front foot. Like that ward that's up there, this is what allowed them to go in for that Roche contest.
Yeah, true. True.
But a smoke up now. And Navi, well, they reveal at least General in the mid lane. Not sure if that was on accident or not, but Shad... He's underneath his own ward, staying safe, but it's about to go red. They realize now that they're up there.
Oh,
Did they decide to finish off Toby, though?
Toby's gone. He's by this obs. They have a Imp Claw and Ember.
Got him caught. Get the double boars afterwards, because why not? General, still hanging out there, runs into the PA. Now, PA's in trouble, although Boom is over here as well. The relocate out. Good play.
Damage. 460 damage from the Ember right now when he's slicing people.
Yeah, the M-Claw's terrifying. That's really scary stuff. And Io will fall as the pressure is going to be mounted now towards bottom at tier 1 tower, it looks like.
Have you ever seen a panelist more confident than Lacoste was in this one? Yeah. He knew.
Yeah.
He saw the future.
It's true. He's very aware.
I think
Are they going to get
quite
all
right.
4 bounties?
Oh, there it is again.
Bounties. Bounties. Chase down. Celery. Does he get out of here?
He's just padding his stats with this healing.
Pretty
Just
much.
wants to see more slights, more damage for Iceberg.
I mean, doesn't it make sense to let yourself die so you don't lose your raindrops?
You got to backpack him. That's the real play.
Okay,
In fact,
I like it.
Oh, well, he was getting his tome. Okay.
Okay. Well, 11,000 net
Now-
worth lead as it slowly built up over and over.
Riddle me this. How did Ember do 1,884 damage, but Enchantress says 960 health, guys?
That's a good point.
Now you know how annoying that heal is when it's maxed out. That's crazy.
I think that it's one of those ones that's super underrated, but if you can get that like near the IO in these fights, like whoever is getting jumped on is not going to die.
That sounds like some like TF2 medic tethering medic strat. The Ubersaw strat.
I never played that game. Bad. I know.
Continue to disappoint me, Gabe.
I'm sorry. That's my
okay.
bad.
This time.
Only this time. Well, catch Shad in trouble. He's just dead. What was he thinking? Okay. BKB used from Boom, but now they're looking to take the fight on the other side. Healing be damned. Sven is going to take your life, and now diving for more afterwards. They're going to relocate out. They get away with the Shadow Fiend. Oof.
Oh, man. You have no hope versus Void Spirit.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, you're just dead. Little Aether there. Piece of cake.
Got him.
General was
And-
even prepping the mid lane.
Dude, no BKB,
Yeah.
and they're just going to egg him. Oh,
Yep.
poor Boom. Roar afterwards to try and get away. V-Tune from downtown beats the crap out of him. And will take the kill with the last remnants of that God Strength, as Tier 2 tower is going to be assaulted. And this is going to be another objective claim for Na'Vi in what has felt like a super simple game since that Roche fight.
Yeah, everything's going their way, and I think their items are just good on everyone. I love the Death Soul and the Ember for how this game's being played. You can see how much they're just shredding through them, and we haven't even seen an issue where, or an instance rather, where we've had like the slide into the Sven. Really, like Ember alone is just doing so much physical damage, and they're
True.
just they're the flowchart Dota players this game. You know, they're just making things simple for themselves. They bought good items. They're playing together. They have great vision. Excellent D wards. Again, I want to point out from Always Want to Fly. That ward winning them the Roche fight. It feels like the Vision game, despite having the Beastmaster on the enemy team, has always been on their side.
Which is so unusual. And like you said, it's sort of something that all comes back again to that warding placed on down. And, well, these types of aggressive heroes, too, that can take advantage of it. As Thori is going to take a lot of damage here. I'll see how much they do in this instance. But Iceberg, yeah, he's pissed off after last game. He's coming back at him.
Actually, he just tipped Always Want to Fly for stealing his kill.
Okay, gotcha. Good call.
That was the teammate tip.
I'm just so used to it now. The anger.
He's trying to deflect a little.
Mid lane. Got him caught again. Aramis hoping to escape afterwards, but there is no tether available. I was going to mention, though, that it feels like they might have pissed off Iceberg after that last game. They've awakened the beast.
Give me my hero.
Yeah. It's my time.
Oh, man. Lincoln Sphere. He is so safe.
Dual Scepter lift up. Remnant down. Boom. Forced to pop the BKB. V-Tune throws out the stun. Going to take down one. Who's next? It's Striker Ray. Not timed together perfectly. Trying to go for the ulti. And Fear is going to hit onto basically everybody.
Bangos!
There's no follow-up. Zero follow-up. And GG is called. Na'Vi with a very solid effort in this game number 2. And the Roche fight that I think set it all up.
Yeah, we're speedrunning this series, and despite this being two kind of one-sided games, I still found them very entertaining and good to watch, just because of like how we're seeing, you know, as you put it, these teams are relatively even, and it's interesting to see how like one little engagement can change so much. I mean, the laning stage I would say went a little bit better than expected for Vikings. Some great early rotations from Boom, but Na'Vi just identified how they want to take the fights in the most important moments for Viking, like when they had this Deso and the BKB on the SF. That's a hard fight to go into, and the itemization from the Sven was just a lot easier to play with this game. Maybe didn't feel forced into that Orchid build because he didn't have the lifesteal on the enemy side, and I think that might have just helped him out a little bit.
True. Yeah, it's those little things that can all make the difference, whether it's itemization or even just the whole dynamic of how the draft's going to get played out. But that does set us up for a Game 3 decider. All you wonderful people out there watching some Dota 2, go grab yourself a snack because we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to go to the panel. They're going to break down what needs to be done in this final draft to decide the true winner here, Na'Vi versus Viking GG, right after this.
EGB, your esports betting world. The only place to find the widest choice of popular games and matches to win real money. Choose your bet on a single event or express of several matches with dizzy odds. Serving the market for 7 years with over 800,000 users. Join now to get your bonus for the first deposit up to $600. EGB, you know for sure who's gonna win.
Welcome back to the Epic League, where of course we're going to have a Game 3. Did you have any doubts whatsoever? How dare you question the man with the... Well, I don't even know. What kind of hat is that called, Lacoste? Is there a name for that type of thing?
And probably, I'm not sure what it's called. I just
In
go
TF2,
into a store
the Scouts
and,
thing, yeah, it
and
was
say,
called the
give me
Newsboy.
Peaky Blinders hat.
And then you walked into this draft and you said, give me a Game 3 Viking, draft no stuns. And did they even have a chance before that Roche fight? Like, could they have possibly won if that Roche fight went well for them, or even with that, no chance?
I mean, it would just prolong the game, in my opinion. There's like really slim chance that everything needs to be done perfectly by Viking, but you know, you can still see how well they're doing in the Roche pit, who needs to do what, even though they like lost the fight, but the general understanding who needs to do what with the heroes that they have. But they did better than I expected, actually. Like, Boom on Shadowfin did the amazing first 10-15 minutes, then the game just becomes extremely hard for him and nothing you can do about it.
I won't lie, lads.
You're just beaming over there, Tiga. What's going on?
me and my boy Lyrical, we were trying to work out what the name of this hat was. It's either Duckbill.
What did you get a conclusion?
We're currently, so he thinks it's Duckbill. I think it's just a flat cap, maybe.
I think it's a newsboy
And
cap.
then okay, so we've got 3 options, and eventually in 5 minutes time or 4 minutes time or whatever the delay is, Twitch, I'll be like, how did you not know what the Peaky Blinders hat was? And they'll paste it in there, so I'll keep an eye there. But yeah, no, I think the question about good old Viking, could they win this game? Did they have it in them? I think maybe if they were able to take Aegis a little bit cleaner, i.e. Na'Vi weren't ready to contest, that would have been the timing they'd play for. It looked okay up until that point, but as soon as you see, obviously, the IO, he takes the Aegis, doesn't change anything, even Shadowfiend has it like that. To me, that's where the game crumbles. Na'Vi's draft really comes into full swing, so yeah, it'd be interesting to see the bounce back from Viking, because that second game, it was rough to watch, for sure.
At the minimum, I will say I'm slightly more convinced that this whole minus armor strategy versus Sven has a lot of merit, because they didn't have the Slardar this time, still had the SF, but then PA was rushing the Desolator as opposed to getting a Battle Fury. And still, like, Sven was looking more vulnerable than I've ever seen him look, like, all tournament long, pretty much. So I think Viking were onto something, but also, you know, why just not take the Sven?
True.
Yeah, if you have the opportunity to take the Sven, why not? He seems like a really broken hero right now, and easy to play. I think this is the, like, you can make so many strategies. Like, you can have different heroes paired up with the Sven coming out from the mid lane, from the off lane, and you can mess up with the enemy's timing, because Sven just farms that quickly, and you have like a window of opportunity, like 5-7 minutes, where your carry is much stronger and you can do whatever you want.
And this will be the first time that Viking, they actually get their hands on the Sven. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, how Na'Vi wants to try and counter it. We've, like we just mentioned, we saw that minus armor strategy coming out from Viking. And yeah, what will be Na'Vi's response?
5 seconds remain.
Second phase bans starting to come out. Na'Vi ban out a Viper. Viking ban out a Mars. It seems a common trend in recent games has been second phase bans are being heavily dedicated towards offlaners.
Dude, it's so good. It's so fun as well, because like you see these strong openings, like for Na'Vi, there's Flex Lina, there's Aya, yada yada yada, Viking, of course, you know, OS Frog Sven. And then it's like, well, we need to round out our draft. We need that complimentary little sign like Zhu, you know, mwah. And it normally is your Tides, your Bloodseekers, the Axe, the Mars, etc. So yeah, I like how both teams are just equally uniting in their front to make it as hard as possible for either General or for Toby to actually have an enjoyable hero to play.
5 seconds.
It seems like the offlaners all tick like most of the same boxes, though. The differences between viable offlaners are marginal to me. They're all tanky. That's one thing that needs to be critical, is that they're very, very tanky. They need to have some sort of initiating capability, which I would say at least 9 times out of 10 that's the case. And I guess they need to have a good laning phase, so you can't pick any like risky ones. Like that's why we're not seeing Darkseer that often these days.
I was thinking the same.
Yeah.
Darkseer just feels so underwhelming as a hero, and there we go.
There's
Like,
the big spot.
there we're
Tanky, initiating, great laning.
It's the only one left. No, not only one left, but it's like when you think about like the top offlaners in, let's say, the top 10, Beastmaster's kind of in that like 6 to 8 category, and right now we've got the amount of bans in offlane. You're kind of in that region, so no, I see Viking going for it, but a much
I was
different
about
game.
to say something really stupid, like what
Go for it.
happened to CK? And then I'm like, yeah, there's Sven on the enemy team. But definitely a hero that was really popular, not against Sven. When Sven is banned out, or if you have a Sven in the team, could be a viable pick. You know, someone that scales from the off lane, and we've seen some shenanigans with the Aghanim Scepter where it makes the game lag. I believe it was CK like getting Aghanim's second item, and then Luna also going for the Aghanim Scepter. So you have this like 0.2 seconds where like everyone is lagging, and they use Eclipse with the Ags. Like it was pretty.
And
cool
they're like, "What's going on? Why are we
My hero's
taking
dead."
damage?"
Yeah, that's strong.
10 seconds remain.
What else can you like the game with? I think the worst game I ever had was like
5 seconds
dying multiple times with Tombstone, with Refresher, Warlock double golem with Ags, with a PL doppelganging, and then a Rubik.
TB reflecting a PL
PL
always makes me
illusions,
lag.
Yeah. Don't worry, guys. The game should get patched soon, right?
Still in beta. Shadow Demon gets picked up by Viking. Almost feels like a preemptive don't pick Faceless Void kind of hero. And instead they go for another hero who kind of gets susceptible to both banishes and the kiting capabilities of a Shadow Demon, but NaVi find confidence pairing it with an Io with the Troll.
Yeah, the key thing here is the laning phase. Against that Beastmaster with the boars, he's going to be able to just have a perfectly fine time with Whirling Axes. He can also chase down and kill the boars if needed. And the lack of early pressure on the map from Viking allows for this troll to get over that hurdle and get the items needed. He can also potentially buy that Battle Fury if he wants to and match the farm with Sven eventually, because again, there isn't that pressure. The support Geo, kind of annoying, but it's not as dominant as you see, for example, like a CM Tiny, a Tusk plus Oracle, that type of combo where it's just really in your face.
Yeah, looking at these 4 heroes from both teams, heavily favoring Vikings draft. Like you have Sven Undying, so your lane should be really good, especially if that's like Void Spirit IO lane. I don't think you're gonna have a problem with that, or Void Spirit Lina, bit more difficult, I would say, but still really looking good. Like you have a BKB piercing ability, you have a save coming out from Shadow Demon, and like if your offlaner is not gonna have that good of a time because of a Troll +1, Shadow Demon will be stacking the jungle, maybe for a Beastmaster, and for Sven, of course. Like it's so easy to stack with Shadow Demon, and the kiting potential that you mentioned against the Troll, the setup is looking really, really good for Viking.
Now
Good
that
point,
the
Santos.
offlaners have been selected, it's time to start targeting mid laners for both teams. Invoker and Storm Spirit both banned out as NaVi looking for their Iceberg hero to, I don't know, Tigov, what type of vacancy are we trying to fill in terms of team capabilities?
Radiant's
For Viking, we're looking at mainly an active hero that can play around the aggression of the Beastmaster and unlock ports because they don't really do much. And on the side of NaVi, we're looking at a hero that can, I think, rebuttal some of this early aggression. There's going to be this threat of this tower. And right now with your heroes, none of them want to park themselves in front. Maybe the Troll, but he should be farming up the jungle. Viking have the last pick in the draft, so for NaVi, they need to decide what that hero is now, I think. I still like the idea of maybe even a Kunkka. I said this in the last game. I think it just really ties their draft in together. The question is it really that good? I think maybe a Halberd buy, a purchase in the Kunkka could be great, but just someone who can just stand in front, take a little bit of this aggression would be great.
What about Death
still
Prophet?
available?
Yeah, I was about to say it for
Ooh,
Viking. Could be a
wow.
really good pickup.
They
So
go
they
for
have
a
some flex
Furion.
picks on it.
Yeah,
Well, go ahead.
So they have flex picks for sure, but the idea NaVi is trying to set now is we respect that you have this Sven, but we are going to try and own them up quicker. And this is mainly a pick, not to go against the Sven, it's to punish the support duos, to punish this Beastmaster. These heroes, they don't like being ran at early on. They're heroes that can dominate in team fights with their saves, and they're just nuisance factor, but they're not great protecting their towers. And that's where NaVi identify that. And even though Sven's a great matchup against the likes of a Furion, just the early pressure will punish the rest of the heroes. So Viking, they really need a hero. I said active, but I think now they need someone who can defend a tower.
All right, that's chat will be
I mean, I
playing
guess
IO.
Roger could play it. I don't know.
No, yeah, it's
I'm
Twitch
kinda
user
skeptical.
321. Congratulations. That'd be so.
All right, so
actually, no,
Lacoste,
not
you
gonna
were
be.
leaning Viking heavily.
Yeah.
Tigov, give me a defense for Navi's draft here.
They have what it takes to play the lanes against to enable the troll for sure. The question is, do the rest of the cast actually play well into Leshrac? I think you told me to be positive, so I should
Yes.
change my answer. Sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah, they have a really good laning phase with Troll. I think the active nature of Void Spirit can punish the clean lack of lockdown. They're relying on Raw and then Sven's done, maybe even the Split Earth. And that will bode well for this early pressure. I think early tower defense, a lot of pressure on Leshrac to be present, and that could buy enough time for Troll to be confident. The question is, can they really do that into Sven? I keep going back to the negative. I'm sorry, Tsunami. It's just hard because I just like
That's fun.
what they have, and of course,
Follow your heart.
Sven is a OS Frog hero.
Oh my god, we
Yeah,
got
you
some
called it.
shading
Yeah, look at
now.
that.
We just had
We
the
got-
line art at
Yeah,
first.
we upgraded a bit here at T Governor Productions. We've got all the art team in play, and yeah, Sven is an OS Frog hero. So I think Viking, they might be able to do it. That's it. I should have just led with that. I should have TLDR'd Sven. God damn.
It's okay. I was railroading you into a Navi, but
you were.
I don't want to influence anything, not even the odds, which you can check out on egb.com or click the banner below the stream. This is the last game of today with these Division 1 playoffs to find out who will be knocked down to the lower bracket. Let's find out with our casters Lyrical and Trent.
Thank you so much, Neil. Trent, do you ever like sometimes want your colleagues to like just fail a little bit and just get the draft prediction wrong? You know what I mean?
No.
Like T-Gov's over there, he's so happy. He's trying to like, make his new Twitch emote with him holding up the Sven thing. Unbelievable.
Is that what he's doing? He's fishing for new emotes. That's pretty smart.
Right?
Start
That's a good
streaming,
one.
just start doing random stuff.
How
on
did you
panels.
know?
See, we knew.
I wouldn't sink that low to go for things like backdrops and Christmas lights and those sort of things. That's just easy brownie points.
Do a pog
So.
face, Trent.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Okay.
Pog as I get until the Dota starts. And unfortunately, it's not starting, guys. We got to pause.
Mm.
Now, I don't know about you. I see MLP's got the Sven's Warcry tip. Mine says, always be polite, especially
Ooh.
to your teammates. People are less likely to listen to those who are rude.
See, that's the one that I have right now is the Primal Roar with stun, spell immune targets. They think they base them off of your time spent in Dota or something. They're like, Lyrical, you need a little bit of extra help here.
Yeah, that
just
makes
to make
more
sure
sense.
you know it. But it is interesting. I think that this is going to be a. I kind of have to agree with the panel as much as I wanted to like sort of make fun of them a little bit because they're all like, yeah, it's definitely gonna happen. It feels like it's kind of gonna happen. Like Lesh, Sven, they've got this like crazy undying hero that hasn't been in any of the games yet, but has always looked so good. What are you thinking about it?
I would say that it looks like both teams can get off to that very quick start. You have like this IO lineup with Relocate and the Nature's Prophet alongside a mobile hero like the Void Spirit. I have a lot of faith in the general Void Spirit. He's extremely good at the hero. So yeah, I don't know. If I had to pick a team, I kind of feel a little bit better about Navi's lineup.
Okay, that's cool.
I like Troll. He's
Yeah.
good.
I mean, the other thing about it that's pretty neat, right, is like the early pressure you can put on with a Nature's Prophet
Sir,
to the side lanes.
what is this Sven doing? What does that quick buy say?
Bad
Shad?
things.
Shad?
Bad things. That's what's going on. Not the way you want it to go. As he is apparently wanting to go for a hand of Midas. Do you like that decision?
Well, clearly that's why I just sounded so excited about it. No, I don't know. Is that why?
I don't know. He wants to do it, man. Why are you hating?
I'm not sure. Yeah, seems like a bit of a wild one to opt for.
Yeah.
I'm trying to recall if I've seen a Sven Midas in a while. I don't really think I have.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen a couple of other heroes. The Night Stalker earlier was one of the ones. What else is there? There haven't been that many. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, there's other heroes in Dota. Yeah.
I don't know, man. What do you want from me? 2
All
and
right.
2.
Well, we'll see. See if he opts for it. Might just be he's just looking at it for now. Maybe he's got some big old plan. Really wants to get to the talents or something. Needs that bonus XP. Huge brain stuff happening.
Be a big boy and get yourself an Aghanims. I think it's probably fine, right? If he has a good enough start to it, it feels like it should be okay. Because I think that they scale better into the late game. I don't know. How do you feel about Troll right now?
I really like Troll for I don't know. He's a momentum-based hero, I would say, in the fact that you really don't want to make any mistakes when you have this hero. But if you don't make any of those mistakes, I think he heavily rewards you because he can just like fight nonstop, and he doesn't really have cooldowns, right? He's just kind of good to go for the majority of times. It's nice.
He is definitely a sort of. That's part of the reason I asked, is because I feel like he's a very different type of hero in terms of like how he scales and how you play him than other ones. But I don't know. I guess that in this game, going against like Aramis in particular, it feels like it could be kind of rough, right? You just disrupt him when he pops ulti, or like you demonic purge him, he's not going anywhere. It can be pretty annoying.
That part is definitely a little bit annoying, but at the same time, he also offers up like mischance and stuff for the Sven too. Like he's one of the better carries in that regard. He's good. Like whenever you have like AOE mischance, that's like a direct benefit versus the Beastmaster, because part of his ability and what Beastmaster is balanced around is giving attack speed to all his allies. So if you're reducing the general damage that right clicks are doing, you're weakening the status of Beastmaster in the draft.
Good deny up there, by the way.
Oh yeah, you get the little kick. Anytime I get the kick, lasted, or deny on Beastmaster, I know it's a good game.
It's funny how that stuff goes. Him and the Phantom Lancer, the other one. Never see that here anymore. Ooh, the root. Okay. Oh, and Roger gets in front for the body blocks. Uh-oh. Where are you going to go, buddy? Going to try and stack up the poison, but it's going to come too late as Toby will go down. First blood.
Yeah, level 1 poison doesn't even feel like it's worth the mana most of the time. It's just hoping it might push them back a little. But yeah, and the reason why I always call it like a momentum hero is that a lot of items are very good on Troll, but he doesn't have like those very specific items that are so busted on him you have to buy them every game, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is that he can utilize many different items based on the opponents, but the bad thing is he doesn't have these like crazy busted items like Sven has every game where you just go like Echo Saber, Aghanims, BKB, and your game's just kind of done for you, right?
True.
But when you're winning every fight and you just get to keep like buying all the right items, that's why it just feels so nice on Troll.
Well, and we saw, what was it, Topson the other day who went like Vlad's into Manta Radiance. Like, it didn't matter, like you said. And
that was a very extreme example, but you're right. Literally buy anything.
Well, and with this type of a game, you know, I'm looking at this Navi draft thinking, okay, they want to play aggro early, maybe rotate in that Nature's Prophet to bottom, try and secure that tower. They could even try and go at like the early point, like 5-minute mark with the first catapult maybe. The only danger is that it's hard to fight into an Undying like that sometimes. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Valve has granted me another helpful tip on my my pause screen. It says, try not to dwell on your mistakes. Learn from them and move on. That's some good Dota advice. And now apply that to your teammates too.
Yeah.
You know, when your Void misses that third chrono, there's not really much point in saying like, Void, why would you do that? It's not, you can't fix it, you know?
Yeah. It's true. I think that's a really good point. It's like, feels like something a therapist would say, you know? It's not just
that's Dota.
It's not just Dota. It's life. It's life in general. And this is another great one on the mainstream. Each hero reaches their maximum effectiveness at a different time in the match. Replace match with life, and you know we've got a whole nother world.
Unfortunately, we all peaked very, very early, and that's why we're here now.
True. Oh god, painful. All right, well, down bottom, a battle for the stack / creep wave is going on. They're gonna pull in the Undying. Tombstone dropped on down. And is that just going to be more gold given over? It looks like it will, as always. Fly secures it. General, he gets away. Salve up afterwards. Dude, Light Strike right out.
All right.
My God,
relax, always want to fly.
He's done. Oh, baby. Dude, a little bit of help from the Centaur, and suddenly they own him.
Yeah, Shad got busted on that one.
That was like about as good as it goes, right? Always want to fly, gets the Tombstone, and then everything else, boom, in the mid lane is going to get punished a little bit by Iceberg, but they can't bring him down.
Yeah, but Iceberg's already abused his TP as well to come back to the lane, so he's just out regening Boom. I mean, look at Boom. He does not have a bottle. He has to go and take the invis. His bottle's on the way, but he's 600 gold behind Iceberg right now.
Yeah, I mean, thank goodness they at least has the bottle coming out. That would be really bad otherwise. And yeah, if they won't, I really want to see Iceberg make a rotation at around this 5-minute mark. If he hits 6 in time and like is able to, you know, secure a tower early on,
that's why they're casting spells on Shad down bottom right now. They're just throwing out Aether Remnants and stuff because they're waiting for when he hits 6. So Shad needs to make sure that he's regenerating up constantly.
Right. Yeah, he does have 4 tangos and a magic stick, so that is going to be at least a little bit hard for them to connect on to the kill. Yeah, just spamming spells, and here comes the tombstone down yet again. More gold into the coffer of Always Want to Fly as Shad gonna get rotated on. They bring in the Nature's Prophet Iceberg. We'll be able to catch him with the Sprout. Summon some trees on the other side. Body blocks not quite there in time. In general, we'll have another Aether Remnant back up soon.
Always Want to Fly chase down Salery as well, but Salery did take the bounty rune in front of him, so he got that. But it's another kill for Always Want to Fly. 2-0-1, and quite wealthy right now for Alina. Again, another fun game for him.
He doesn't get his courier killed this time, though. He learned his lesson.
The root up top on Toby.
The
second root up top on Toby.
Ooh, slow dead.
Doesn't even need that triple.
Okay, NaVi out of the gate. Looking good. 5-0 start, 1,000 gold lead. One slight miss up in the rotation there from Iceberg, but his next one's going to be deadly. He's got level 6.
Oh, at least Aramis gets here in time for a stack. They got that going for them.
Okay. Much needed.
Yeah, they need a rotation from Aramis to the mid where he just gets a disruption into a kill. That would be a good goal. It looks like instead it'll be the top lane they put the focus on.
Boom, making that move. Only 1 point up in Edict, so even if they do manage to get the kill, it's not going to be a quick
and
move.
It's a hard one with the tether being there.
Rotation bottom instead. They got Shad. Good move as they set up for the kill, and Iceberg can summon some trees in a moment here as they have the catapult coming in.
7-0.
Dude, I feel bad that I've cursed our panel.
It's all right. They got the last game, you know.
It's true.
It looks really good, so. Boom now pushing mid. He's got the 2-2-2 build happening, so no super fast edict, but they're still already instantly pinging it right now from General saying, hey, I don't want to give this up for free. Who's going?
But the glyph comes out, and that keeps it alive, and now they can come back and defend if they want to. Bringing in the Nature's Prophet to start. Aramis is right there on top of him. So
yeah, interesting that he TPs. You would think that maybe he'd wait for his teleportation to bring a faster TP in from the other heroes.
And now, because of it, they're not going to be able to keep him alive, most likely. Iceberg will fall. But the follow-up, the turnaround, Always Want to Fly, tries to bring down Boom. General's on top of him. Pulls him back in with the Remnant, and Always Want to Fly gets involved in yet another kill as they take down the Undying to boot General, securing both of those.
I think he knew he was going to die. The way he TP'd in there, I think that's exactly what he... Maybe he hoped they could save him in time, but I think they knew they'd get a good trade either way.
Okay.
Because that was just too obvious. They knew the Shadow Demon was there. They'd seen him already. And Iceberg just refills the bottle mid. How convenient.
What a guy.
All right, more stacking action here. Can we see the double here, Aramis? Oh, yeah, he's got it.
Nice.
This is what you need.
That being said, we
don't talk about that. Look away, MLP.
Dude,
don't watch.
It's also right on a ward, which now Aramis realizes that there's a ward in the area as the Wrath of Nature comes through. Can they
That's
steal
where you
this
just claim it was in the camp. Be like, they must have blocked it. No way I messed that up. He actually just pinged it.
Nice. I like that. All right, they're going to take the stack right now, but they're moving in as well with General. They want to contest this. They get the D ward, but pull back in on the Shadow Demon. Aramis goes for the disruption. Do they have another step afterwards? The stun comes out. In some trouble now. In General, just going to bop.
Yeah, Roger did not want to tether back in. It just did not feel very good. And he correctly identifies that there is, in fact, a ward there that sort of saw what they were up to.
Yeah. Well, 8 minutes in now, and top net worth inhabited by the Troll and the Void Spirit, with Lesh just slightly ahead of the Nature's Prophet. And the big loser in terms of the cores so far has been Toby. 2,600 on this Beastmaster net worth. But also Sven, who's a little bit behind.
Also, only level 6.5 on the Beastmaster too.
Mm.
I mean, I guess General is too. They've both been running around quite a bit. I would have thought General was higher for being 4, 1, and 3. Kills are weird now, man.
Yeah.
They do not give that much XP.
DOTA fix.
Oh,
Please,
please,
FPS.
FPS.
Thanks.
Thanks.
There you go, guys. Put it on Reddit. There it is. Angry beeps.
That's appropriate.
But yeah, I get what you mean. That like being involved in so many kills, you'd think General would be further up.
Yes.
True. So we get the reconnect and ready to go again. Lena was killing off some boars. And have we all reconnected? Yeah, Shad comes back in and requeues up the Midas.
Attaboy. He was getting worried for a second.
It's funny, right? Because like he leaves the game and has to requeue his items. So you just see it pop up again. It's like first priority, have to do it. Oh, V2, no.
I mean, it's very interesting that he just knew that this was a Midas game.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know. I'm not a Sven expert.
It does sort of speak to, I guess, maybe a way that the rest of the team is going to need to play around it as well. Of like trying to protect this triangle here whenever possible, and they've done a good job of getting at least that one round of D wards out. But they're going to need to sort of work overtime on it and make sure that they don't give up just the entire map to NaVi out farming them.
So why is like Mask Echo bad this game?
Because you might disassemble it and turn it into an orchid.
Ah, yes. There you go. Although, hey, the orchid actually looks really legit. Just saying.
Don't be baited. Don't be baited into it.
That's what happens every time, is it?
I feel like it's ever since like the God King build started coming around, you know.
Yeah,
for
people overthink it a little. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, if I do this and then disassemble, it's like it's trying to solve a complex puzzle when the answer is just like get a hammer, you know, and just beat the crap out of them. That's the real answer.
All right. Well, at least the beating can continue as we are unpaused now. Let's recap here. It's 9-2. The Radiant are smoking. They just actually had a win for the first time in a while. Picking off, I believe, our Void Spirit there.
Oh, this is nice, though.
Wow.
Look at this stack.
Oh, recovery mode engaged. They have no idea.
Oh, it hurts. Oh, NaVi are nearby, but they can't walk up that hill. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Oh, look at the pings.
They're so sad.
Oh, God.
Wait, can they catch him on the way out, though?
It's gone.
Roger's just like, give me something in return. Give me your courier, please. And Roger's forced to run away. On the top side, though, Toby. Gonna be chased down a little bit. They'll get bounty runs.
Oh, man. Do you remember the start of Donkey Kong Country where Donkey Kong walks in and all the bananas are gone? That was NaVi right there. And it just plays that little music. He's all sad. Yeah. The bananas are gone. They gotta go chase down King K. Rool. Fetch their bananas back.
That's true. The sad part is that they burned the bananas. There's
no, they just ate them, and if you kill them, they drop the bananas back to your team in the form of golden experience. Dota's a wonderful game.
That's so morbid.
Well, I don't make the rules.
That's fair. Jeez. Hawks there going to scout out General. Toby hiding off in the trees, realizing, hey, this could be deadly. Nah, he's just going to get the boar kill instead. But a couple cool little neutral items here as well. Aramis was able to pick up the Keen Optic, one of the really nice one, and is working his way towards the Aether Lens. So that's one of those ones that like is deceiving how big of a deal it can make, just having that extra range on Disruption or Demonic Purge or whatever.
Yeah, 100%. That's a extremely good spell, especially with how much they're going to rely on it as their initiation outside of Roar. It's their other best option, assuming the Sven doesn't want to be the first one in.
General, the relocate coming in afterwards. I'm not sure about that one. Now forced to run away.
Yeah, Tombstone dropped is just not worth fighting into that when it's up on the high ground like that. So.
Ooh. But look at the same time mid. That rotation faint and then turns into a tier 1 tower taken. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and then V-Tune's just right back to it on the bottom lane as well. Comes back from the relocate and has already cleaned up the ancient, so they just move down to the lane. And has been looking towards the SNY and the Satanic for quite a long time on V2. Still looks pretty solid. Very good SAS resistance game.
Yeah, and just tanking up too to survive that initial burst that comes from Sven. It's like the dual combo when you go for the status resist, so much HP. And they do have like some other sort of, you know, pretty hard save in the IO. But making sure that you don't have to fully rely upon that is also, I imagine, pretty nice as well. So they pressure in for the tier 1 tower for a moment, but then are rebuffed.
They gotta hurry though. The relocate's back in 15 seconds. They want to use this Orchid. This could be a good fight for NaVi. I think always want to fly, likely thinking about TPing up here soon, but they get enough speed that's not gonna be the tier 1 at the very least. So I think they dodged a bit of a bullet there. Good timing there from Viking.
You know, you had mentioned the way in which in game number 1 you wanted to see NaVi find more pickoffs around the map. This feels like the ultimate pickoff draft, right? You've got this Void Spirit that can start mixing things up and then relocates and Nature's Prophet. But Viking, they play so kind of clumped together that we haven't really seen those pickoffs be created. It's more like they're trying to out-farm them around the rest of the map, kind of. And punish them that way instead.
Yeah, and one of the benefits of the IO though is that like it's not too bad just because like the troll is mostly just farming. That is a lot of drawings from VTune. He's saying I want to farm all of this, and they can only farm here. So I'm happy with this situation. I believe is what he just described.
That was the same line I made. Look at that.
Well, he's a pretty smart guy.
Yeah, they're doing it. Jeez. Well, and yeah, now a 3,000 gold lead that's sort of staying stagnant, but always want to fly gets a free time to himself down here bottom as well. Working towards something. You think he had Arcane Boots queued up for a second, but could go like Yules or whatever.
Yeah, I think Yule's first sounds pretty good. For now, just mangoes. So yeah, I think he might be giving up on the Arcane Boots. Just saying, yeah, I think I'll buy some mangoes instead.
Dude, Toby is so broke. He's going to get passed up by the IO soon.
That is a little bit depressing. I mean, it's a Beastmaster, I guess, so like a lot of your value obviously is in the vision and the roar, but items are pretty good.
True. Roger hanging out nearby as Shad sort of put screws to him a little bit, but relocate down bottom. Aramis going to be found and quickly killed, but they realize now that sets up for an easy pickoff afterwards on the IO. Do they bring back everybody? Probably not. Yeah, it's just
no tower nearby. Yeah, not gonna be worth it.
Okay. So 15-minute mark as there is some movement over. Always Want to Fly is going to try and find one. Iceberg TP's in on him and will be able to eat their way through, but look on the backside. Whew. Shad, Yule Sector lift up, roar afterwards. Always Want to Fly. Light Strike Ray is going to connect. General still in some trouble as some good damage is coming out from the ledge rack. And Iceberg is just going to be brought down. They take down Always Want to Fly afterwards. Great reaction from Viking.
Yeah, it's Larry buying back. Tips to Iceberg. When you buy back like that on Dying, you probably want a Roche.
Yeah. Damn, dude.
They let him know. Oh, Aramis gets up there, utilizes the vision.
It's really nice. Yeah, and Roche getting brought down somewhat low. They have the Tombstone already in there.
Oh, he's got 2 jumps and a Yules, man. He wants in.
Celery also popped the ulti, so he's getting that bonus damage out right now. Really deadly time here. General thinking about going in, but not going to do it. And now they show up with Aramis. Iceberg a little bit late. But again, they're just going to Quelling Blade through the trees.
Whew, this game. It's looking a little bit dicey for Viking for a while, but they held fast. And talk about how like you're getting so much more space on the side of NaVi, but then suddenly a couple fights go their way. Even though you're way ahead in the kill score, they've been getting the later fights, which are more valuable. Their Sven has a Midas. So his net worth, yes, it's a little empty, but he is on top, and he is still going to get a lot on, even out of a small part of the map.
This is, I think, not following the formula that we've seen from other games, where it's just like a clear outdraft into winning. But now it's starting to feel like, you mentioned, Viking may be able to pull away a little bit over the next little bit here. We'll see if they can sort of continue to accentuate the the lead that they're starting to build, or if Navi can reassert themselves. It feels like maybe pickoffs is the way that you do that.
It is, but the frustrating part is that they've been so clumped, and they're just relying on this small area for farm. And we know they have some other pretty poor players right now, right? Like
Yeah.
Toby is way down there. So it's not like there's a. That's why the gap is still in Navi's favor, net worth wise, despite the Sven being almost 1,000 ahead. As Toby, well, he's gonna go down just a little bit further. So there's your pickoff.
But they do have heroes moving in.
Oh, they tried to boost a travel into the Leshrac, but the Nature's Prophet ulti
They
actually
used
killed this
roar
creep.
even. General doesn't have any more astral steps. He's just digging in front of him. Shit takes away the bounty rune. And now God Strength goes out. Always one of Fly's in trouble. General also going to get worked here if he's not careful. Has
Wow.
a Yule Scepter afterwards, but they stuck around far too long. He has another astral step soon. Brought down low. One more swipe kills him. Do they even give him a bounty rune?
I think that's like the second time I've ever seen that happen.
Oh my god, that was amazing. Now,
Well, return plays. They have the Nature's Prophet trying to push and get some gold in the mid lane. Troll still farming on the bottom side, but utilization of the Aegis here from Viking. Not able to secure a tier 2 still at the very least. They couldn't get full pressure into that tower, so they're not going to claim a pre-20-minute outpost by the looks of it, which would have been an excellent goal with that Aegis.
true, yeah. That's at least a little sliver of hope there for Navi. Granted, they it's I'm sort of framing it as if it's all bad news. V-Tune's still crazy farmed right now, and is working well on his way towards that Satanic. I'm actually surprised how well he's been able to keep up in his farm compared to this Midas Sven. It's pretty impressive. Guess that's what you get when you don't die.
And you have way more space, too.
Right.
Like, if anything, it's impressive that the Sven is staying up there, really. I think with, like, the little room he's getting, like, they're not able to offer a lot more to his allies, which is partially why the Leshrac's good here with the Boots of Travel, because he can be a little bit more lane-focused.
Got it.
Yule's up mid.
Has another one afterwards. Pops it
Ooh,
there.
got him.
That's just a jump away. But still, lots of damage on